And we are live. What's good, everybody? Welcome, welcome, welcome. I really want to know podcast, man. How y'all feeling, y'all? How y'all feeling? What's good out there, man? Happy, what is today? Thursday, right? Happy Thursday, guys. Hope all is well out there. Um, yeah, I've been over here just doing what I normally do. Getting the flyer ready for next week's next Tuesday's show and getting comics. I like to book a week out. A lot of people like, man, you should book out further, do like a month or 2 months. Like, nah, bro, a lot can happen in that time. You want to book out about, 7, 8, maybe 10 days or something like that. That's just a tip for anybody out there in the business. You don't want to go further than that. You just don't know what may or may not happen. You want it to be fresh on everyone's mind. And it's easier to manage, in my opinion. There are some people who are just really good at planning out in advance and they like to do all the work and, more power to them. But I kind of got my way down to a little science. So yeah, I've been here just chilling, doing my thing. I was watching YouTube like I'm always doing, watching news, reading news, doing all that kind of stuff. And I came across an episode on Rich Cooper. Uh it was on Unplugged Alpha when he's talking about the Manosphere public relations issues, right? The PR problems with the Manosphere red pill world, or like Rich likes to call it, the Mano Swamp. And he went in and he talked about, you know, um, he went into detail as to his issues with the Mano Swamp, man. So I thought it was a really good episode. And he opened the lines. I wasn't around when he did it live. Boy, if I'd been around when he was doing this live, I definitely would have jumped on. Shout out to Rich Cooper. He is the guy. He is the guy. And I definitely would have jumped on. Um, but of course, I was busy. I was doing other stuff. But yeah, and so he dropped the link and he had a couple people come up, and there's one dude in particular that came up, and I definitely want to shine a spotlight on this particular young cat. He came up asking Rich Cooper some stuff, man, and we're gonna cover that as well. So we're gonna talk about and this video begins with Rich Cooper talking about the Christ pill, the God pill, the religious pill, whatever they're calling it. The traditional conservatives out there who are saying that religion is the answer to all of the debauchery is going on out here in the sexual marketplace. I don't agree with that, not even a little bit, not even this much. So that's what we're going to talk about, man. He talked about that. I'm skipping over that part. We're going to go into um, his discussion on the PR problems with the red pill, the Mano Swamp. I definitely want to get into that, and we're going to have fun talking about it, y'all. So let's do it. And we are live. What's good, y'all? Welcome, welcome, welcome to the I Really Want to Know podcast, y'all. Get some indeed, man. So yeah, man, there's a lot of talk out there, man. Fresh and Fit just did an episode, and Myron and Fresh basically extended an invitation to debate with all of the like the religious pill people, whoever they are, the trad whatever you want to call them. He offered them, hey, naming names, you guys can come out here to Miami and we can do a proper debate. He's waiting for them to get back. Um, this is a lot of talk, like this whole you know, manosphere slant red pill versus the religious pill people and the traditional conservatives and their take on what's going on. And Myron makes some really good points. Like, people truly don't understand how different the landscape is now when it comes to dating, when it comes to being out there in the sexual marketplace, when it comes to leveling up, when it comes to becoming the doing the work and becoming the best version of yourself. You didn't need to do as much work 20, 25 years ago, man. I'm here to tell you. You didn't have to put in this kind of work in the 80s, 90s. You didn't have to put in this kind of work in the 60s, 70s as a man. You didn't. You didn't. And people are like, well, what changed? Technology changed. You know, women have access to top tier men all over the planet. Well, more to the point, top tier men have access to these women. You know, just look at Instagram alone. Just Instagram alone, bro. You have unlimited options when it comes to a female, right? And I mean, it seems that way because it's constantly more and more people in your inbox, DMing you, making you offers. This did not exist, like I said back in the day. The closest thing to this, man, is when the Woody Harrelson movie, and was it Robert Redford, I think it was, or whoever. It was like Indecent Proposal. I don't know if you guys ever saw that movie. That's the only thing even close to it. And the premise of this money is you got this couple, Demi Moore and Woody Harrelson, or this couple, and they need money, and they're in Vegas, and they come across this billionaire, and he really wanted Demi Moore, and I forget who played the billionaire. Um, I forget the actor who played him, but basically it was like, hey, they drew up a deal, used attorneys and everything. It's like one night with your woman for $1 million or whatever. That's the premise of the movie. Not a bad movie, but when you look at it now, it's Indecent Proposal, all day, every day, bro. That's what it is out there, bro. And it's like it's if you watch that movie and you look at that movie, which was 80s or 90s, I think it was probably the early 90s when this movie came out. And people are like, oh man, this is such fantasy. This would never happen. Or boy, people are getting indecent proposals every single day. Women are every single day. It just circumvent the guy. So it's crazy as I don't know what. Brother 90s is in the building. What's good, fam? Good to see you, man. So glad that you could stop by. You know what I mean? And shout out to everybody who's in the chat, everybody out there watching. Please like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. Appreciate it, man. I appreciate all the comments and everything. We're gonna continue to try to make this thing grow, bro. We're gonna continue to make it grow. We got Scam Likely in the building, man. What's good, fam? You know what I mean? Night, she was like, not here. So brother Dino's in the building as well. Dinosaur, man, was good, man. He's like, holy, I knew he would finish there, but this is early. Lewis Hamilton will leave Mercedes at the end of 2024 season and join Formula One rivals Ferrari, a multi-year deal in 2025. My cousin sent me that link earlier today, real early today. And I mean, hey, I guess business is business. I guess I'm gonna have to start getting some Ferrari gear. I got a friend of mine. She's Italian, but she's an American, dual citizenship. We were in the same business, and she's a huge Ferrari fan. So I guess we're gonna be Ferrari fans together now. Because hey, wherever Lewis Hamilton goes, I go, bro. And that's crazy. That's crazy. But hey, Ferrari. I mean, bro, their car, man. Like, I mean. Maybe that's all they need is a driver. Maybe that's all they need is someone like Lewis Hamilton. And Mercedes, they had a really good run over there, man. I mean, Lewis Hamilton started with McLaren, right? So Mercedes was a Mercedes for a very long time. I don't know. Maybe Mercedes couldn't afford to get the speed they needed to engineer the vehicle they needed to beat um, Red Bull. But Ferrari is right there, man. Last season, Ferrari was really pushing hard, man, right there. So that might be a good move for Sir Lewis, man. That might be a good move indeed. We'll see. Lady Naveau is in the building. What's good, sis? Always a pleasure. Thank you so much for coming through. It was Robert Redford. Thanks, brother Nightis. Yeah, Robert Redford, played the billionaire guy who made the indecent proposal in the movie. If you haven't seen the movie, it's kind of watch. It's worth a watch or whatever. It's definitely drama and how it worked out and the conversation. It was some pretty good scenes in that movie, man. It's just, I ain't gonna lie to you. It's not a waste of time. But the whole indecent proposal, bro. Now that's the biggest indecent proposal out there is, the whole OnlyFans thing, man. Like you know, that has to be a real tough decision for women. And it's just kind of like dudes who come up with nothing, man, and the decision to hustle or not hustle to get that fast money, bro. And fast money comes with slow problems. Shout out to Myron Gaines. He talks about that all the time. So there's so many issues out there, man. And these traditional conservatives have no idea what's going on in these streets. None whatsoever, bro. None whatsoever. Brother Dino's like, Ferrari got a 6 billion stock market bonus just today. Wow. Wow. Hey man, I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. I will be buying me some Ferrari gear. You know what I mean? If Lewis Hamilton goes over there, bro, I will be close in trail. That I'm a Lewis Hamilton fan, man. And Ferrari has the car, man. They got the cars, bro. They're it might be worth it. We'll see what he can do, man. And if Ferrari can beat Red Bull, then that's what they'll do. Verstappen ain't going anywhere. He has the fastest car, man. But trust and believe, if Williams had the fastest car on the circuit, then these big names would be going over to drive for Williams, bro. It is what it is, man. Um, but yeah, I saw that. My cousin sent me that today, early this morning. I was like, wow, that's huge news in the F1 world, man. Lewis Hamilton going over to Ferrari. Wow. And if he goes there, he's gonna retire there, bro. He's gonna retire there. He's not gonna go anywhere else. So hopefully he'll get a few more maybe he'll get a few more championships under his belt to solidify himself as the undisputed greatest to ever do it in F1, man. That's what I mean. Fingers crossed. I'm hoping. So back to what we were talking about, man. It's people out here who really don't understand what's going on. Um, they're of course, the women out here in the world today, they know what they're doing. They know what time it is. The dudes out here trying to figure it out. Technology has made it to where guys can now go somewhere and at least get an idea of what they're facing. Um, so Rich Cooper is one of those guys where he calls himself red pill adjacent. It's a lot of people, and it's we're gonna get into this, and I get what he's talking about, but there's a lot of people, like in that Manosphere, Mano Swamp, red pill space that are doing good work. They're really trying, man. They're trying to do some stuff, but there are a lot of dudes over there that aren't. There's a lot of dudes over there just bad guys. Man, it is what it is. That's just life. And just like going out here trying to identify who the bad women are when you're looking at trying to wife someone up or get into a serious relationship, you got to do the same thing in whatever your endeavor is. Like over here in the red pill world, you got to know who you're dealing with. You know what I mean? You got to see what it is and talk to these folks. And it's like, okay. See what time it is, man. My cameras keep moving. I like to have man on fire in there. I keep kicking my desk and the camera moves. So, yeah, I guess we should just get into this, y'all. We should just get into this. So we're gonna watch. This is Unplugged Alpha. This is Rich Cooper's podcast. Fatal flaws with the red pill and Manosphere, right? So again, this video started with Rich Cooper talking about I think he was calling it the Christ pill or God pill or religious pill, whatever he was calling it. He started with that. I skipped over that part. I just wanted to get into this part about the red pill and what's going on. And he makes a really good point. He makes some outstanding points. Shout out to him. That's a real cool guy. He's had me up on his on the screen because he drops his links and he'll bring folks up. And I've got an opportunity to talk to the brother. He's cool. I've been able to DM text him back and forth offline. He's a real cool dude, man. I really respect what he has done, with his life up to this point. He talks about how he got red pilled, and then he talks about, how he was able to move after that and what he's doing now. And like the dude keeps pushing forward, man. He truly believes in chasing excellence, not women. So if anybody out there looking for someone to follow or, some content to watch or maybe some books to read, Unplugged Alpha is a really good book. I got it right over my shoulder, right there. It's a really good book. It just breaks it down, in my opinion, in such a way that makes it really easy for you to understand. He has a second edition out with some slight changes in there. I haven't seen that. I haven't gotten that yet, but I will get that. I will get it. And watch his content. Watch his content, bro. Like he's real level-headed dude. When people ask me who should I watch, what I mean, I'm like, watch, definitely watch Rich Cooper. You definitely want to check him out. So let's get into this as he's talking about the problems with the Mano Swamp slant red pill world.
Going back to the areas of the Manosphere, the Mano Swamp, as I like to call it, that is very, very problematic. Anyone seeing a low frame rate, very low. Don't know what to tell you guys. It's probably StreamYard.
Definitely StreamYard.
Yeah, the problematic areas. Here we go. Problematic areas. So here's a few of them that I've made some notes on that you would only see if you were to indulge and spend time with these guys. 2014 was when I started started the channel, a few years into the channel, somebody said to me, Rich, you should do a video on the kind of women not to date. They really liked my content. They thought my advice that I was dispensing was good, and they wanted to hear an opinion on, I guess, red flags.
Hey, bro, StreamYard has been horrible lately. I don't know what it is. It's not my um it's certainly not my, you know, my provider, my cable provider. I've been going back and forth with them. Man, I don't know what it is. I have to say that it's it's StreamYard. You know what I mean? I have to say it's StreamYard. And I've been having a lot of issues with this, bro. Brother Tez is in the building. What's good, fam? What is good, man? Good to see you. So Rich has a good point, man. He's talking about uh the really getting to know the manosphere. Here's the thing. I came into this space through Fresh and Fit. Like, I remember watching Fresh and Fit after watching a whole bunch of content. I didn't know what the red pill was. I didn't know what the manosphere was. You know, I was just watching stuff on YouTube. I landed on Fresh and Fit after a while. And you know, and I'm like, I'm listening to them, like, man, these dudes are down in Miami. They were just approaching 100,000 subscribers, and they were having a party. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna go meet these guys because I wanted to see who these people were for real before I decided to align myself or support or whatever. Right. So that's what I did. Went down. It was a Fresh and Fit event, 100,000 subscriber party. And you know, you guys heard me tell the story of how it went down and everything. Started off rough, but it ended well. But my mission was to get to meet Fresh and Myron, and I did, to see what type of people they are. Man, it's like, yo, those dudes are cool. And once I saw that, I'm like, all right, I'm cool with that. Yeah, they'll say some things sometimes that I don't agree with, or things that happen is kind of like, ah. But at the end of the day, I know they're not out here trying to hurt people. I know what they're trying to do. I really do. And I've been in the background. I see how they move. So when people ask me about the manosphere, the red pill world, I don't really know about the manosphere like that. I only know the Fresh and Fit world. And yeah, Fresh and Fit was like the leaders in the space, and I was meeting some really cool dudes. Back then, they had, you know, less than 200,000 subscribers, and the supporters they had were really really strong. Now they're in, millions of subscribers. I haven't, I don't know, 1.5, 1.6 million subscribers and growing where they are now. It's a different world. And since Fresh and Fit has, reached this success, that's when I began to see the real Mano Swamp. That's when, certain actors would start coming in. You know, you'll go to, I think like the second big event I went to was when they hit 500,000. I was there. That's when you begin to start seeing certain people from the manosphere come in there. You know, the million party. That's when you really started seeing folks. So I'm like, okay, now I see what what brother Rich Cooper is talking about. Okay, when the pickup artists show up or the whatever, like it's some bros, just keep it 100, man. I've said this before and I'll say it a million times more. It is a ton of weirdos in this Mano swamp, bro. There are a lot. I mean, of course they're gonna be, man. And you can't complain about that. It's like going to a hospital and complaining that sick people are there, bro. That's where they go to get help. Guys are coming to the manosphere, the red pill world, to get help. So they're gonna need you're gonna see some weirdness, bro. That's just putting it nicely. Now, of all the guys who are involved in this space, man, the dudes that I bump into are the dudes who are trying to change themselves, right? You don't bump into the guys who are just happy sitting at home, staying fat, or being awkward, or whatever, just stupid. You don't run into them because they don't come outside. The ones who come to the events are the ones who are out here trying to better themselves. They want to network. They want to show that, hey, man, I made these improvements because of you, you know what I mean? Or because of Rolo or because of Rich Cooper or whatever. So I see these people. I see the guys who are really trying to become the best versions of themselves. And it's not until later, like, when you start going to some of the other, you know, corners of the Mano swamp, when you see these dudes out here talking crazy to one another, or not even to their face, like behind each other's back, you see a lot of cowardice, bro. You see a lot of cowardice, bro. And a lot of that is these dudes are just trying to get money, and I get where it comes from. They're trying to protect their money. But you see it, man, and you see people out there who are just, you know, arrogant for no reason. They haven't really done anything. You know what I mean? And they're out here talking madness. They talk a good game, but when it's time to deliver, they can't really do it. They're just good at talking, talking that stuff. So that is what he's talking about. And I see it. I see it. Now that I start to venture out and again, I go to the far corners of the Mano Swamp. It's like, all right, yeah, nah, I ain't messing with that. You know what I mean? I'm cool. I stay over here. I do my thing, man. I know what I'm doing, and I just keep doing what I'm doing. And when I come across somebody that just cool people, that's keeping it 100, when the cameras go off, and I see that they're real cool people, then I stay in touch with them, man. You look at what was going on in Dallas, Fresh and Fit Dallas, man. You go and look at what Rod, Eric, and Cinco were doing. It was some great stuff. But then they had that, the purple pill dude, the Sergio dude came along and just drove a wedge, a rift between, what these men were trying to do. Sad, but that's what Rich Cooper was talking about. Sad stuff like that. And people like, oh man, why'd you holler his name? Like, come on, man, he know who he is. Like, it is what it is. It is what it is. It's just a young dude who was out there doing what young boys do, found himself in a good situation and wasn't wise enough to take full advantage of it. I had him on this platform and we talked. And even then I took it easy on him. And I look back on it like I shouldn't have. But I took it easy on him. Why? Because those were my guys. Like, you rocking with my dudes. So let me take it easy. But, as soon as the show was over, I got on the phone like, yo, what are y'all doing? Who is this cat for real? You know what I mean? We had those discussions. That is the Mano Swamp. There are actors like that who come in there, they disrupt and do what they do. And sadly, that's just how it is. Right? So let's continue.
Women. So I made a video on that and it blew up. And then I got sucked into the Manosphere. I didn't know what the hell the Manosphere was. It sounded like a gay nightclub to me. There's apparently a president of the Manosphere that nobody elected, which is also another problem as well. He's a bit of a weirdo. But there's a whole bunch of stuff beyond that. So here's a few notes that I have. Guys will claim that their dating system allows them to only date gorgeous women, but are revealed to be in a relationship with an average at best woman, many of them older than the guys, and even single mothers. Another one, many have criminal records and in some cases have been forced to move and flee their home country, are running from the law.
So he's getting into some, he's reading the list, and I don't know where he got this list from. I think he cited the source earlier, but we skipped over that part. He's right. As far as the Manosphere having a president, I don't know anything about that. When he said it, I'm like, what? I heard Rolo Tomasi mention it once. It's some dude there, like people got drama with or whatever, or dude has drama with people. Yeah. I was like, what? A president? What is that? When someone just comes in and just crowns themselves, I'm King Red Pill or whatever, be careful of those dudes. Like, okay, what have you done? Like, what are you doing? When he talks about guys who talk all this game about womanizing and all this stuff, and then it turns out that they're dealing with a woman who's average at best, and she's running that dude. Yeah, I see that all the time. I'm not talking about just Manosphere stuff. I see that all the time in life. These dudes out here, they talk the talk, man, and you see them out there in the trenches, and it's like, yo, this your woman? This is Shorty you was talking about? You know what I mean? Nah, that's not congruent with what you're trying to present as at all. You know what I mean? And that hurts you. It should hurt you. People should hold that against you. Like, if you're telling me you this, I'm this baller, I'm this and that, and you know what I'm saying, you just got evicted, or you living in your car, like, come on, well, how much of a baller are you, bro? Keep it 100. I tell people all the time, man, just keep it real, bro. Just keep it real, because you're not going to be able to fake it. You know what I mean? At some point, people going to see who you are for real. You're going to have people like me who going to come, I'm going to seek you out, and I'm going to sit there, and I'm going to watch. I'm going to sit back, and I'm going to watch. I mean, I don't care if you got this event, you charging some silly amount of money. Okay, I'll pay the money. I'll come in there, and I'm going to see what time it is. I'm going to see what you're doing. And if you're a real one, cool. That's what's up. And if you're not a real one, I'm going to know, and I'm moving on. A lot of people get salty, and they want to go back and forth. That's when their emotions get involved, man. I ain't getting emotional over nothing like that, bro. It is what it is. All right, I paid the bread. All right, I see what it is. I'm not feeling you. You ain't who you say you are. I'm out. I ain't got nothing to say to nobody. I'm out. If you know me and you want to ask me about something and I'm cool, we got a relationship, I'll let you know what time it is. Like, yo, this is how it was. This is why I'm not rocking with that. But if that's what you want to do, go ahead. And then people are like, well, no, it's changed. You should come. I'm not coming. I'll pay for your ticket. I'm not coming. I keep telling you, bro, I'm not coming. You know what I mean? Nothing personal, but I'm not. You don't need me to like something so you could like it, right? Is that what you're telling me? You need my blessing? No. All right, then. Keep it moving. Be your own man. I firmly believe in that. Be your own man. Rich Cooper, he's his own man. You know what I mean? And he runs with his crew. Brother Pitney's in the building. What's good, fam? Yes, please like the video. Please like the video. Let's continue.
Other one, claiming to be a multimillionaire with several successful businesses, only to be discovered to be living at home with family completely broke. Yes, I was at his house and I saw it firsthand. Have gotten socially awkward men incarcerated for following their dating systems and techniques. You can go look this up on Google. There's several articles and video footage of socially awkward, maybe even autistic guys on the spectrum in trial, and the pickup artists that sold them the course and the cold approach stuff is nowhere to be seen because they flee the country.
There's a lot of that going on, bro. There again, guys come to the Red Pill Slant Manosphere looking for answers. It's like I said, man, you go to a hospital, you're gonna find sick people. You come to the Manosphere, you're gonna find a bunch of lost men. That's what you're gonna find. And they begin to listen to the advice being given or the techniques being shared, and they go out in the real world and they try these things and they're in over their head. Just like that video we reacted to about that guy who was talking about you know, how to move in Colombia. And you know, the guy was like, when the woman comes over, you know, strip search her and pat her down and make her get into the shower and all this other kind of craziness, right? It's like, bro, are you joking? There are people out there who will watch that and they will do exactly what that guy said. And in the video, what did I say? I'm like, man, don't do that, man. That might get you arrested. And you might catch a case doing something like that. You got some woman in the house and you going through her purse and whatever and all this other kind of stuff. Like, don't do that, man. Don't even think about doing that. What's wrong with you? You know, that's crazy. But yo, Uncle Saint, she might be coming in there to roofie you or drug you or something like that. Then don't drink anything. It's just you and her. Don't drink anything. If you leave your drink, if you walk away and forgot to take your drink with you, dump it out, right? Get another glass, pour yourself something else. If you worried about it that much, why is she there? I mean, that's where you got to back it all the way back to. Why is she there if you worried about it like that? Why you got her in the crib, bro? And then, you know, guys, you know, people don't realize just how desperate some of these dudes are to smash. They go down there like, I want to smash. And they get themselves caught up. So that's what he's talking about. And I don't know of any stories of guys who are actually sitting in a criminal court here in America because they implement some techniques that they learned at some seminar or read in some book. And if that's the case, that's sad. But hey, bro, you got to know better. But what Rich is talking about is true. You got guys who are kind of socially, not kind of, they are socially awkward on the spectrum type thing. I've talked to these dudes, bro. Like, it's like, hey man, you gotta tell them to calm down. Like, hold on. Like, you know, it's, you know, you got folks like me out there, like in this world. Like, before you go try something wild like that, man, come holler at me first. Just come holler at me, like, bro, I ain't no super wealthy, big mogul guy. I'm just a regular guy who came from where I came from and I landed here. I'm chilling. I have experience. Holler at me, bro. Holler at me before you go out and implement something that might land you in prison or worse. So, and like he says, these guys that say all this craziness and run off. And then when you find out what's up with these dudes, like, he's supposed to be this big time womanizer, man. He got, like I said, he got the trailer park chicks, the chicken heads, the hood rats. You know what I mean? The girls out the barrio. Like, he's not like, okay, granted, he might have a bunch of them. He might have 6 or 7 of these low tier women. So yeah, that may look good to you as a guy with zero, but nah, you want the guys who are operating at the highest level. You know what I mean? Say what you want about Fresh, but Fresh got dimes. You want to holler, you want to deal with, find out how Fresh got to that point. Yo, Fresh, what are you doing? How did you get to this point? Same thing with Myron. You know what I mean? Myron moves the way he moves, but he only deals with the finest. He's had a couple, booger bears or whatever you want to call them. He has some ones you want to keep in the closet. That one girl who falsely accused him of getting her, impregnated. She had a nice body, but boy, I'm like, boy, she is ugly. Like, what are you doing, bro? I asked him about that. He just shook his head. He just shook his head. He got caught up, and I get that. I understand, bro. I've been there. Anybody who's out here spinning plates, running rotations, out here dealing with women, they understand that, bro. My man Jay Swan says it when we was coming up, man, back in the Army days. Not always going to hit a home run, bro. Sometimes you got to bunt. Sometimes you just got to have a good eye and you just take the base, bro. You get your 4 balls, take a base, bro. You know what I mean? It's not always going to be a home run. And you're not going to be proud of some of the stuff. It's like, bro, I'm telling you, that urge to smash, that urge to reproduce is a powerful urge, man. It's like, why am I about to smash this ugly, chubby girl? Because turn the lights off. Just turn the lights off. And I can, think I'm somewhere else. And then boom, be gone. And you can forget about it. Again, men can just forget about it. But that chick, that chubby, that Teletubby, that big girl who's not that cute that you smashed, she ain't forget about you. Trust and believe. There was something about you that she did. She was thinking, I hit the jackpot. And all you was doing is trying to get one off. You get one off and you gone. And she just sitting there like, nah, she really likes you. And then that's those scars that I was talking about the other day. Like as women move through the world and they stay single, they're gonna get these scars because they're gonna get with a guy that they think, bam, jackpot. And once they realize that guy's just smash them to smash them, and then they realize the guy doesn't even remember them. You know what I mean? I point to that episode on Fresh and Fit when that woman came there to expose Myron. Myron didn't even remember her. She was like, you know me, quit playing. And then he was like, I really don't. And the moment in that podcast when she realized he does not remember her at all, she was devastated. That's a scar. That's a scar. So the next dude that comes along, he's gonna have to deal with that because she ain't gonna be quite right. And what was she doing? She was going after dudes that are way, way above her standard. Like, that's not you. That's not where you're supposed to be at. She's trying to get at someone like Myron. Myron was like, won't you come by the crib? She's like, okay, I'll come up to the crib. She get up to the crib. Myron trying to smash. She didn't want to smash. Okay, fine. Get out. He get on the phone, call somebody else. And she was going to expose Myron by saying, this is what you did with me. This was her experience. He's like, thank you for telling the world. This is what I preach. This is how I get down. You came to the crib. You didn't want to do nothing. I asked you to leave and I called somebody else who wanted to do something. And she was shocked. And the look on her face when she realized he did not know who she was. And then she didn't have the courage to get up and just walk out. She should have got up and walked out. She just sat there stunned, man. I'm telling you, scars. And even the women sitting at the table was like, well, what was you thinking? Why would you go up to his crib? He just met you. Why would you go up to his crib? What did you think he wanted? Right? Now the women at the table are telling her the truth, and she was just sitting there. I thought the woman was going to burst into tears, bro. I thought she was going to burst into tears. You know what I mean? Brother Pitney's like, looks like that last wave of pickup artists have been noticeably silent for a reason. Yeah, man. Absolutely, man. You know what I mean? Last good man in Jersey's in the building. What's good, fam? You know what I mean? Lady in the voice like, cause you fast and nasty. Just kidding. Shoot. I stay fast, girl. I ain't gonna lie. I was a beast back in my days. And now I'm picky. I'm very picky. And the reason being is because I understand how society is today. I know how people are moving. I know that there are people out there making up stories and will just, lie to law enforcement and get you into all kind of legal trouble that you have to fight your way out of. And the worst case scenario, if you with somebody and y'all have a child or something, now you got to deal with that person for 18 years. And you got to deal with, the family court system. You got to deal with all that comes with that. And the biggest thing too is just I can't tell you how many men I've talked to over the years, just strong men who were just broken down by this family court system, and they didn't care about the money, they didn't care about the bullshit, the bullshit court. What hurt them the most is they couldn't spend time with their child, and that just crushed them. It just absolutely crushed them because they couldn't do anything about it. Now they're men; there's things they could do, but they had to make a choice. I can act on this and go do something, but then I'll be gone for the rest of my life. So it just kind of stuck. And that's the worst part of it. So as an older dude now, I just sit back, take my time, bro. I'm not gonna mess with just any old thing. I'm not. When I go out at night and I see some drunk girl, she could barely stand up, man, don't talk to me. I get away from them as fast as I can, bro. When they got friends, I ask their friends, man, keep your friend away from me. Ain't nobody got time to deal with her. Just off the chain drunk, stupid drunk, could barely walk around. And sometimes they keep messing with you, man. You got to go get security over here. Hey, security, man, do something about her, bro. Keep her away from me, man. And you got to put it on them. And security will remove that person, bro, because they'll sit back. Security will sit back, they'll start watching. And they'll see you trying to get away from her, and she keeps coming after you, and they'll come over and remove her. Or sometimes you just have to leave. Like, we almost have to leave this spot. Because it's just not worth it, bro. It's just not worth it. And this is, you know, I haven't dealt with the Manosphere as much as I've dealt with Fresh and Fit. So what Fresh and Fit is talking about is building yourself up, being the best version of yourself, so you can choose what situation you want to be a part of. And this is part of their message. Sometimes you got to leave. Ain't nobody talking about advocating violence against women or anything like that. Not in the Fresh and Fit world. Not Myron, not Fresh, not their team. Now there are people who, now that you got millions of subscribers, there are people out there talking all kind of nonsense. And those are the people that Rich Cooper is talking about. And those are the people you got to look out for. Because these dudes will be over here posted up with you, but they done did something to some woman. Maybe they put her hands on it and they come back over to you, bringing the drama to you. You don't even know this guy. Right now, you got other guys coming up wanting to get big. You trying to figure out what's going on. Or worse, law enforcement comes over and they start questioning everybody, and they'll hold everybody. We're going to keep you here. You can't go anywhere. We're not taking you in custody yet, but we don't want you to leave. We want you here for questioning. We're going to hold you for questioning right now. You get that? So you got to be careful and trust and believe those dudes out there doing bad things. They'll be the ones pointing at you. And this is what Rich Cooper is talking about. This is why he left the space. You know what I mean? And Brother Pitney, Adon Ahmed, who is that? Is a pickup artist that got arrested about 2 years ago. Oh, okay, never heard of dude, but I can see it, man. I can absolutely see it. I can absolutely see it. The stuff that they talk about doesn't make sense. And every now and then when you talk to a guy who has been schooled or has been listening to a pickup artist, you listen to what they're saying. Right? I'll sit back and listen to them, and I'm like, bro, where'd you get this shit from? Right? Because we're out. We could be like somewhere in Miami or Dallas or Atlanta or something like that. And I'll ask the guy, like, man, where'd you get this shit from? And then they'll start naming names and talking about books and stuff like that. I'm like, does that shit work for you? And then, well, just one time I was here and there and I was nagging this girl, and another time I was over here. Like, what city were you in? You know what I mean? Like, okay, so you were in Kansas. You know what I mean? You were in Wyoming some damn where. All right, maybe that shit worked. Okay, you in the sticks in Kentucky somewhere. All right, maybe that worked, but that shit ain't gonna play in a real city, homie. You got to sit back and, man, like, keep your mouth shut. It's what you need to do. I heard you a few minutes ago when you was over there trying to talk to that chick right over there. Yeah, she's a 304. Like, no, she's not. She's not a 304. Not in the sense that you think. She just didn't want to talk to your dumb ass because you coming at her with this. And, I'm like, tell me some more about this pickup artistry shit. And then they'll start breaking it down. I'm like, nah, man, that shit didn't work. The only thing that worked was the sheer numbers involved. Like, you were talking to a bunch of women. Eventually somebody gonna fall for whatever it is you're saying. And it's not her falling for what you said, it's just she like you. There's something about you that she likes and she chose you. Right. So, but then you would just keep talking, going on and on and on with this bullshit, putting your foot in your mouth, and off she goes. She's not dealing with you anymore. I'm gonna have to because I got that mystery method. I'm gonna have to read that book again. Because a lot of the stuff, I mean, there was stuff in there that they would play on women's insecurities and stuff like that. And I think that's fair. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. All's fair in love and war, right? I think that's fair. Women gonna play on your insecurities as a man, and you should absolutely capitalize and play on their insecurities too. But it's the way that you move in there. If you're not a suave dude, I don't care what you look like. If you're not a suave dude, bro, you're putting yourself at a disadvantage. So if you don't know how to move within the social paradigm that's out here now, you're putting yourself at a disadvantage. I can talk to a group of women just so I can get at one of those women, right? But I know how to engage the entire group. It sucks. It's a lot of work. I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. It sucks. And you always got to start out with the least attractive woman in the crew, right? And then you got to worry about the most attractive woman in the crew, because she's gonna give you the most problems because she wants all the attention. And once she sees that you're going after the cool woman in the crew, It's gonna be a problem. You're dealing with all these goalies, so you have to know how to negotiate that. I haven't read a book yet that talks about that. You have to know how to talk to folks, bro. You know, you have to be able to disarm people. You got to know what you're doing. And everyone can't do that. The vast majority of men struggle with this, right? 80% of men are invisible to most women, man, for a reason. So there's certain things you have to do to pull yourself out of that bottom 80, man. That's just what it is. You know what I mean? Like she in love. Is that right, Miss Sister Navoy? You know what I mean? It's like, oh, my ironing again, fresh in LL again. Now, them dudes, right? Especially when you're talking about this kind of stuff. There is a difference between what Myron and Fresh are doing with the Fresh and Fit podcast versus what the Manosphere was historically doing. And I'm noticing the shift within the Mano Swamp or whatever. You know, because now people are saying like Rich Cooper here. He's like, I'm not Manosphere, I'm not Red Pill, I'm Red Pill adjacent. Michael Certain is saying that. He's Michael Certain, which I like. That guy makes some really good, really good content. He backs up his philosophies with all sorts of proof. He's already surrounded by beautiful women. I mean, granted, there's a lot of women with upgrades. He likes the women with the big fake breasts. I don't, but he's still surrounded by beautiful women. He does these events and he's done really well. He says the same thing. He's red pill adjacent, but it's like, brother Michael, how can you be red pill adjacent when you're sitting here next to Rollo Tomasi? Rollo Tomasi is red pill. So, you know what I mean? You look at the same thing with me. Like, it's hard for me to say I'm red pill adjacent when I'm sitting between Myron and Fresh. Myron and Fresh are red pill. You know what I mean? So you got to kind of keep it 100. Now, Rich Cooper is like, I don't mess with them people. I don't deal with them people. So yes, I'm red pill adjacent. There's a lot of good information within the manosphere and the red pill world. There's a ton of good information, but you have to take the good and you have to leave the rest of that bullshit behind. You know, that's just how that works. Brother Pitney, he doesn't have a platform. He was just a P. Oh, he's a practitioner. Okay, cool. Because I never heard of dude, but a lot of the stuff that they're out there doing, these pickup artists, it's just kind of like, oh man, I don't know about that. And again, there's a way about doing it. And then they spit out this information to folks, and the guys who are taking the information will go out there and do it verbatim, like step by step, exactly what they were told. When the person is actually trying to get you to use your best judgment and kind of, well, I didn't mean that, literally. I was just painting the picture, and you have to be able to do this. Like, nah, that's not what you said, homie. They went out there and they went step 1 through 5 exactly how you said it, and now them boys done put them in some handcuffs, bro. They sitting down right now looking at a case, and it's like, what person is dumb enough to do that? Like that guy right there, that guy that paid you $800 for this seminar, that one. That's who did it. And the police looking for you. So what do those guys do? They get a ticket. Give me a plane flight. Let me get a flight up out of here. You know what I mean? I know you just having fun, baby. I ain't mad at you. Man, brother Mandrill's in the building. What's good, Mandrill? What's good? Like, he used to run a channel called Addy a Game, but it's been terminated. Okay. I mean, there's people out there, man. There's money in this, bro. Think about it. If the vast majority of men out there struggle in this field, and you can come up with a product or a service or a text, a book, and they can get just a little bit of success after listening to you, bro, they're gonna come back for more. To them, it's like, man, that's the best product ever. Like, you got that, bro, you got that hydro. They're gonna come back and get some more. Like, man, let me get some more of this. I got the, you know what I mean? They gave me the sample. The sample's fire, bro. Let me go ahead and give me a pound of that, bro. They gonna come back. And the guys who were selling this information, they're like, well, I want to sell more and sell more, right? Because 9 times out of 10, they're in the same economic situation as the dudes who are paying for the shit. So you like Rich Cooper was saying, you got guys out there saying that they're millionaires and entrepreneurs and all this, but they live in their home, living in their mama's house in the basement or whatever. Come to find out they broke as a joke. Like most Americans are, especially men. Most men don't have any money, bro. The average income in America, right, per person, $65,423, and that goes back to, I think, 2022. Think about that. That's the average American. That's the average. That's not a lot of money, y'all. That's not a lot of money, bro. So I know people who spend that much money over a year just on dinner. You know what I mean? Seriously, there's people out there spending that kind of bread just on accessories for their car. You know what I mean? Their watches, bro. If you can get a $65,000 Rolex, you're getting a deal. Like, think about that. So people want to get to the point where they're making the money, and that's where the NFT comes in. That's when the rug pools come in. That's when, all of the crazy stuff that's being sold. Like, I don't mind buying a t-shirt or a hoodie. You know what I mean? I'll be rocking my Fresh and Fit gear. I haven't bought any Fresh and Fit gear probably in over a year and a half, but I've got t-shirts. The hoodie I keep in my car. I keep it in my SUV. So I go somewhere and I know it's gonna be kind of chilly. I just put the hoodie on. And generally that's when I'm going into the strip club to get my filet. I go to Scores, shout out to Scores to get my I get my 8-ounce filet with mashed potatoes and a little bit of mixed greens on the side. I get a little extra vinaigrette with that. Right. And I'll sit there and eat. And it's cold. I sit in the coldest spot of the club at the bar. Why? Because I don't want the girls coming over trying to hustle me for $1 or $2 for try to get me to get a dance or whatever, man. Stay away from me, bro. So I sit over there with my hoodie on, Fresh and Fit on top of that. A lot of girls that see Fresh and Fit on there, they'll stay away from me. Like, you watch Fresh and Fit? I'm like, I'm close friends with Myron and Fresh. I pull out pictures. See, these are my homeboys. They leave me alone. I don't want to deal with her anyway. Right. But then, of course, the girls that know me will come over. I got just a handful of girls that I'm cool with. And they'll come over and hang out. Why you always sit over here? It's so cold. Like, because I don't want people to come over here and bother me while I'm trying to eat. That's why. But I'm just saying, like, you have to take the good and leave the bad. You know what I mean? You have to take the good and leave the bad, bro. So it's crazy. We got Brother Smeebles in here checking in from down under. All of us from Australia. What's good, bro? Hey, Monday, man, we're gonna do your show, man. Thanks for sending me that clip. Thanks for sending that to me, brother. I was gonna do it tonight, but then this came up, and I wanted to talk about, I wanted to react to what Brother Rich Cooper was saying. But Monday, bro, we're gonna do yours, man, and that show is gonna be the divide between what women think men want, respect to like augmentations and plastic surgeries, and what men really want, what men say that they want, and more often than not is they want natural beauty. So we're gonna have that show Monday, brother. So thanks for sending that to me. So let's continue with Brother Rich Cooper.
So let's just keep going. Let's keep going, right? Warns you against inviting single mothers into your life, then lies about marrying one, and covertly invites a single mother into their own life, which, by the way, was also older than him. There's a lot of drama around all of these things, a lot of the infighting. Another one says there are world-class pickup artists that can teach you to seduce and sleep with beautiful women, is exposed for hiring prostitutes to be paid actors in their boot camps. So these are pickup artists.
Yeah, what he's talking about, I did hear about this. So you'll get dudes out here talk about, like most people in this chat and most people out there watching on Team Replay, they understand Fresh and Fit's content, right? They understand what Myron and Fresh, what they do, what they say, how they move with women. Imagine if 10 years from now, you find out that Myron and Fresh are both married to like ugly, obese women that already had a bunch of kids. So they were like stepdads and all this kind of stuff. And they were paying for sexual access from pretty women. Imagine if you discovered that down the road, a couple years down the road. It would just blow your mind. Like, right. So these kind of discoveries, I guess, in the manosphere happens all the time. You got this guy like, I'm a pickup artist, but I got this seminar, pay me all this money for the seminar. I guarantee that you're going to get a woman to come home with you if you do these things, right? And what were they doing? They were bringing women in there who were pros, and they just didn't tell you. So the woman is in there getting paid to be there, and she's being paid to go back to the rooms with these guys. So whatever guy she decides to go back to the room with, she's been paid to do that. She go smash the guy, come back, she gets paid. And no one, only the guy, the guru knew what was going on until, of course, it came out that, he was setting that all up. And I remember I was talking to a dude a year ago, someone who knows nothing about red pill, nothing about this world. I was like, hey man, I'm out here and I coach some of these guys, like these guys reach out to me. And one of the things I do is I have them meet me in the city or I'll come to their city and, I'll help them out. I go out with them. I see what they're doing and look at how they dress and all the stuff that I do. And I help them get better. And he's like, so what they trying to do? And I'm like, man, they just want to be around beautiful women. They just trying to come up. You know what I mean? They want to smash, but honestly, to them, they just being able to go out and being able to approach women, code approach, talk and whatever, get a number, get something, get an Instagram or whatever. that makes him feel better, like it's a giant step forward. And his first instinct, because this is one of my dudes that I knew back in the day from the streets. His first instinct was like, well, shoot, man, tell him to come here, bro. I have at least 15 girls waiting on him. Right? I'll make sure they get what they looking for. And I'm like, no, we're not trying to do that. He was like, because all they got to do is pay this much money, and I guarantee they're gonna smash something. I'm like, nah, bro, I ain't trying to do that. But it was just his natural instinct was to like, man, I could stack the table for sure. They gonna keep coming back. I get them. I can get them. So I was like, nah, man, that defeats the purpose, man. Trying to show these dudes how to level up, man. Not a cheat code, and certainly, lied to him about it. He was like, shoot, that's what I would do. So I was talking to my homeboy about that, and then it was like maybe 3 or 6 months later, I came across some content when they were accusing a guy of doing that very thing. And I was like, oh, bro, why would you do that? Why would you do that? How would you think that's gonna stay secret? Right? Like for real. How do you think that's gonna stay secret, man? Someone's gonna find out about that. So and someone did. So that's what he's talking about.
Usually in large cities, they hold these boot camps. Um, Paid actors in boot camps to be seduced and sleep with these paying students. Now, in many cases, the pickup artists will even sleep with the prostitutes prior to placing them for the students to sleep with, so they scratch their itch first. So they're their own students that they're paying for to learn skills to seduce, who are usually socially awkward dorks or nerds that haven't leveled up their life. They haven't gotten the 7 spokes of a high value man that I talk about in the chapter in my book. In the updated version, that's the second edition only. They get them in a scenario where they pay thousands of dollars to come out to, I don't know, an event or a city. And then these PUAs will hire prostitutes, bang them first, and then give their sloppy seconds to these guys in these events. Again, this is all factual. Another one tells you to do the work, lift weights, eat clean, go get some restful sleep, but will stay up the entire night, gets liposuction to remove belly fat because they're too lazy to do the work themselves.
Yeah, he's talking about MLD on that one. I MLD that, and people talk about the hair plugs. I'm not a big fan of John from Iron Life Dating. That's one of Myron's homeboys. Like John behind the scene, apparently is the guy that, like will talk to you, and he sees that you're up and coming, he'll jump in there and, what I mean, get cool with you and all that. I just don't, again, it was the 1 million party weekend, and I saw dude moving around. I recognized him, and I saw the way he was moving, and it was just something about it. Like, nah, I'm cool. I'm cool. Normally, I'm gonna come up to you. I see somebody. If I recognize, I'm gonna come and introduce myself. Whatever. I'm gonna come holler at you. If you see me, you come up like, hey man, aren't you DL Saint? Yes, sir. What's up? I'm gonna holler at you, take pictures and all that. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, like there was just something about the way dude was moving that, you know what I mean? It set my hood senses off. You know what I mean? It's just like, I don't know about that. I don't know about dude. So let me sit back. I knew dude was cool with Myron. Let me sit back. I saw her, you know what I mean? I was like, nah, I ain't dealing with that. And then later on, I saw him on Saucecast, when the women came at him for stuff that he said in the chats. Again, he wouldn't stand on his square. That Angela Wright or Angela something, Angela Knight, Angela somebody, I forget her name. But she's one of the faces in the space. She was on there and saying, hey man, you was talking all that craziness, calling me fat, this, that, and in the chat. And he was like, oh, that wasn't me. I don't know what you're talking about. And then Adam's people, shoot, I forget her name, y'all. The man, what is her name? I got a picture. I can't think of her name right now, but that's like Adam's co-host on his show, Natalia. Nat was like, nah, don't do that. Don't lie. That was you. You know what you did. And he ran off that set. That made him look horrific. He's like, well, I got another podcast. I got a heart out, da, da, da. I don't care, man. I ain't running away from this. We gonna sit here. I'm gonna let the next person know I'm gonna be late, bro. We gonna sit here and deal with this. That is, to me, that was a bad look. That was a horrible look. You know what I mean? And then he got, he jumped on the stream with Saint in the Center, Marquette. And when Marquette was done with him, bro, God. You know what I mean? It was like, woo, woo. Dudes like that have a purpose in this space. That shows you how not to move. Don't move that way. You can see that, like, all right, cool, don't move that way. And when you out here, you living a fake life, so to speak. When someone confronts you, bro, how you handle that moment means everything. And this kind of ties into this whole, how to be the best version of yourself, man. You can't be running. You can't be running, bro. You know what I mean? Cowardice is never, never, looked up to. If you a coward, man, everybody gonna call you a coward, man. Don't be running. Why you acting like that, bro? Go deal with that. And that's just that dude right there that's the guy you don't want to be. Don't be that dude. No matter how successful he may be in the space, no matter how whatever, don't be that dude. You know what I mean? And a lot of folks don't realize that because the average dude, right, has no clue how to move like a man. Like I said, most dudes ain't never been punched in the mouth. Think about that, man. Most people ain't been punched in the mouth in their life, man. Never. They ain't never been punched in the mouth. But they out here moving like they tough. And when they come across a real tough guy and they get their head split, they sitting there and they're always, what's the first thing that they say? I don't understand. Why would you do that? Why? Why did you do that? It's the first thing they say when they get caught. You know what I mean? It is what it is. Stand your ground. Take your L or take your W. But don't, you know what I mean? Don't be over here running. But that's what we talking about, man. MLD, man. You got hair plugs and I don't have a problem with the hair plugs. Liposuction, I don't have a problem with the liposuction. But tell people that's what you did. Hey, don't sit here and tell me to go do this over here, this way, and then you turn around and go over here and do it this way. You know what I mean? You want me to give you all this money so you can go over here and get lipo because you can't change your diet or do some sit-ups. So like, come on, bro. Come on, bro. Just be 100 with it. It's the same thing if you out here running a place, you're trying to holler at multiple women. Tell the women what you're doing so they can make that choice. So if you a guy out here and you out here running your game, lying to dudes, talking about you a pickup artist, you out here doing all this stuff, right, just to get the money, then tell them like, hey, man, I don't live this life, but this is how I think you should live it for you. Do these things. I think that you will get results from it. Say something like that, but don't be out here talking about like, look at me, I'm in shape. Like, nah, bro, you getting lipo. You know what I mean? You out here getting veneers and you doing all this other kind of stuff. Say it like, yeah, I got hair plugs and I got veneers because that's gonna help me get more women. I got lipo because you ain't gonna say because I'm a lazy piece of shit and I don't feel like going to the gym. But you're like, well, I work so hard and I don't have a staff and I'm always up and I'm not eating as good. So I just wanted to get this done. Come up with a way, but kind of tell the truth. Don't lie about it, bro. Don't lie about it because it's going to come back and bite you in the ass. You know what I mean? Brother Penny, you're right. MLD keeps catching heat for that. He does, bro. You can't live it down. You cannot live it down. And that's the one thing, bro. A coward dies a coward. A coward dies 1,000 deaths, 1,000,000 deaths. I think it's 1,000 deaths. A coward dies 1,000 deaths. You know what I mean? But a hero only one, something like that. You know what I mean? Some smart person said that a long time ago. You know what I mean? Scam likely. Like, so the manosphere is the dustosphere. Always has been, bro. You know what I mean? The Manoswamp always has been. What else you gonna get? You got a group of people looking for answers, man. And not everyone has the true answers. You always gonna have that person selling you the snake oil. You're gonna have someone trying to tell you the cheat codes, right? And that's really what these people want to hear. Just tell me what I got to do or how much I got to pay so I can get that woman over here to come home with me. I just want to have sex with that woman. Or I just want her to talk to me. I just want her to hold my hand. I just want her to marry me. Whatever the case may be. I want to be seen. They don't want to hear what Rich Cooper, Michael Sertain, Fresh and Fit is saying. Do the work. You want to be seen? Do the work. Women want to deal with the top. They want the best. So you need to become the best to be seen. They don't want to do the work. They want to sit there and point their fingers at the women and call them 304s and this and that. Okay. Everyone's looking for cheat codes, right? And you're dealing with a generation. We're into the generations now where everyone gets a trophy and they realize, like, no, everyone does not get a trophy. Everyone does not get a baddie. You know what I mean? This is not how it works. And there are people out there who are going to take advantage of you being vulnerable. Give me this much money and I'll show you some smoke and mirrors and I'll hire a prostitute and you get your PP wet. And now you think you're the man. You know what I mean? That's only going to cost you $2,500. You can Cash App it. You can PayPal it. You can Zelle it. or I take cold hard cash. You can pay me in nickels. I don't care. That's going on. And a lot of these dudes, they just don't see it. They just don't see it. You know what I mean, Brother Pitney? Your hood and sisters told you he wasn't solid well before Angel Knight and Natalia, cornering him on Saucecast. That's a fact, bro. That's a fact. I saw it. I saw it instantly, man. I saw it instantly. You know what I mean? SNS cooked MLD so thoroughly. Yeah, Saint the Center cooked MLD so thoroughly. The internet had to save the left. Yeah, man. It was that stream was crazy. That live. When he told MLD, when Marquette told MLD, you fly down here, because MLD was in Japan. I think Marquette was in Vietnam. He like, you fly over here and you fight me. And if you beat me, I'll fly you back to Japan first class. I'm like, bro. Bro. And the way he was talking to him, it was so disrespectful, man. But again, it was two worlds that merged, two worlds that wouldn't normally touch each other. MLD is from a different world than Marquette Satan Center. Two completely different worlds. And that's the first thing I noticed about the Mano Swamp. There are just so many worlds colliding in this space. People don't understand what's going on. I done seen some real hitters at some of these events, real hitters. And I see it, and they'll see me like, yeah, they know what time it is. They watching. They gonna catch one of these homies. They gonna catch them. Like, I done seen that. I done seen some real weirdos. I done seen some straight racists, man, straight up racists, bro. They'll come in there like, all right, this dude's a skinhead. Maybe he's a reformed skinhead, but I'm like, yo, this dude right here, I'm looking at the tats. I'm looking at all kind of Aryan Brotherhood. You know, I'm looking at all kind of SS boats. Like, whoa, right? The more people that got into the fresh and fit world, the more I started seeing these extreme bubbles coming, these extreme, communities coming together, bro. And it's not all good all the time. Some of it's good. Some of the dudes will tell you, like, yeah, I used to be, I'm getting this removed. And, they're telling their stories. And they're like, even for me, even in this hate-filled world, we had trouble dealing with women and da. I see I'm a different man now. Okay, those some cool stories, man. Like, shit, all right, I believe you. But you still got people out there who's just straight scamming. Just straight scamming. It's all about the money, bro. Whatever podcast today, man, they had a debate with one of the TradCon dudes, and then they had Pixie and the 304 lawyer girl, whatever her name is, and then that one chick that wears glasses is always on whatever podcast, right? Debating this dude. And I'm looking at the super chats, and what Brian is doing, he was like, okay, for that debate, if you want your super chat read, it had to be like $100 super chat or something like that to read it. And if you wanted the automatic talk function for the thing, and it had to be like $200 plus for that or something like that. I'm like, damn, dude is, hey, I ain't mad at him, bro. He's got the plan, bro. He's getting every dime he can out of this. That's what he's doing. I ain't never gonna knock anybody else's hustle. But if you think that dude's really trying to help you out, bro, you got another thing coming. He's just out here making the money. He saw what Fresh and Fit was doing, and he was like, I'm going to take that idea, and I'm going to try to get as much money as I possibly can. I'm out here in California. We're in the Santa Barbara area. I'm going to bring all these crazy leftist women out here, and I'm just going to have them talk, and we're going to talk about this intersexual dynamic, and that Fresh and Fit crowd and the Manosphere Red Pill is going to come over here. And they did. They did. I watched some of that debate. I'll probably go back and watch the rest of it. Some stuff on there I thought was fascinating. Some stuff on there I thought was just outlandish on both sides. Like, you got this dude who's like big old Christian, God dude, and you got these girls who are just, harlots, right? And it's like, okay, let's see this debate. I thought it was pretty cool, man. I thought it was pretty cool, bro. And Brother Pitney was like, what's that? In my humble opinion, getting lipo, then turning around and insulting someone for their body weight is mean-spirited. Yeah, because that's who that dude is, bro. There's a lot of guys out there in the manosphere, just like there are women out there who have been broken beyond repair. Myron was talking about that yesterday on the pod. There's some women out there who have been broken. Society is broken them. Life is broken. They made the wrong choices. They've been broken, man. There's only it's just, you can't really do nothing for them, bro. There are men out there who've been broken, right? For real. Broken beyond repair, man. There's nothing you can do about it. Food bar for real. There's nothing you can do about it. But some of those guys that they work their way into the space and they got a good mouthpiece, man. They could talk the game. You know what I'm saying? They can look the part, and they're out there getting their money. This Brian dude is out here getting his money. He don't see nothing wrong with it. Like, I'm just getting money. He can care less about dudes. I don't think he doesn't give a shit about any men out here. He doesn't really care to help somebody level up, to do the work, in my opinion. He's just out here to get the bread. More power to you, bro. Get that money. But he doesn't care, right? That dude doesn't have game. That guy has money. He's a tall dude, dorky dude with money. He's out there in Santa Barbara. He's always going to have women coming around him. Anywhere in SoCal, a guy like that is going to come up. He was successful from his, pranks channel, millions of subscribers. He's bringing in the money. He does not have to worry about how to get a chick. Now, the problem is, is he able to vet them properly? Hopefully he can. Hopefully he can. But, I never wish failure on any dude. I never wish that. I never wish, I'm like, I hope Brian goes out there and gets some woman who takes all, marries him for 7 years and then divorces him. And no, I never wish that on anybody. That's horrible, man. People don't handle that right, and they wind up taking steps. You know what I mean? They'll take steps to themselves or to other people and then themselves. You know what I mean? So I don't wish that on anybody. But I can see it. And there are guys out there who can't see it because they don't socially have the tools to see it. You know what I mean? But yeah, MLD is mean-spirited, bro. Brother Mandrell, 1,000 deaths. Thank you, bro. Right? 1,000 deaths. Yeah. A coward dies 1,000 deaths, bro. You know what I'm saying? But a hero only one. Scam likely. Cheat codes, confidence, communication skills. Yeah, you can call them cheat codes, but it just work. It takes work to hone the confidence and the communication skills, right? So it's going to help you get there, but it takes work to do it, right? The cheat code is you give me $2,000 and I do some smoke and mirror, Alibaba, boo, 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 right? And then I bring out one of my stripper friends to give you a lap dance or, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? To give you some relaxation, if you know what I'm saying. And you think it's because you said these words. Because I said, hey, say these words. Sun Tzu, correction, not Sun Tzu. It's Musashi. Musashi, like Japanese, one of Japan's most heroic samurai, like one of the most famous samurai ever. Musashi. There's a story of Musashi. This was I think it was in Book of the Five Rings. This is where I read this. I believe it's in Book of the Five Rings. But anyway, I'm gonna try to. I might mix it up, but the gist of the story is this: there was a young man, a young boy, who wanted to avenge the death of his father. His father was a samurai, and his father was in a duel and lost. And the young boy wanted to avenge his father because the samurai who defeated him was just disrespectful, Ronin type samurai, whatever. Man had no honor. Maybe the man cheated or something like that. I can't remember that part of the story, but the young boy wanted to duel this man. He challenged this samurai to a duel, and the duel was set. So the young man went to Musashi, and he was like, he's Mr. Musashi. This is what's going on. Can you please give me a technique that will help me be victorious and avenge my father? Now, Musashi knew the samurai that he was going to go fight. And Musashi knew that the samurai will make easy work of this young boy. So Musashi, knowing the other samurai, he told the young boy, I need you to practice these two moves. Like a simple basic move, maybe like you block with the one sword and then strike this way. And he told the boy to spend the day practicing this move. Now, Musashi knew what the other samurai was going to do, so he gave the boy the best chance possible to be victorious in this duel. And the boy did what he said. He went and he practiced that move. That's all he did. He practiced that move. He practiced that move over and over, right? And the move was basically like, I want you to get both your swords. I want you to hold them straight up in the air, and I want you to walk straight up to the guy, and then I want you to do this move, whatever the move was, right? Guy was like, hey. Like that's how they say yes or whatever. And hey. And the boy went and practiced. He went and practiced. He went and practiced. And spent the whole day with Musashi practicing. And then the boy came back, and Musashi was like, okay, you've practiced hard. I've seen you. He's like, now, when you get to the battleground, when you get to the dueling ground, look around. If you see a lot of red ants crawling around the field, that means the gods have heard your prayers and have watched you train, and they are on your side. That's an omen. It's a good omen for you. You will be victorious. You look down on the ground and you see a bunch of fire ants running around. That means the gods have watched you. They're going to protect you, and you're going to be successful. You're going to win. Right. So the next day it was the dude. The boy went there. Right. He looked down at the ground. He saw the fire ants. He pulled his swords and he did exactly what Musashi trained him to do. He walked up on that samurai. That samurai was half drunk. He knew he was gonna make short work of this little boy, whatever. Pulled out his sword, and that little boy was able to strike that samurai down. Two moves. Struck him down. Now you see, brother Scam, communication. That boy had communication skills enough to know to go talk to Musashi, and he needed confidence in order to be successful in this duel, which he surely should have lost. He was nowhere skilled enough to fight this samurai who had hundreds of victories, including the father of this little boy. Musashi gave him a cheat code that he didn't understand. He gave him the quick moves, but he also told him the sight game to get the little boy's confidence up, to look down the ground if you see these ants. Well, Musashi knew that time of year in the place that they were going to fight, that the ground was going to be covered with all kind of fire ants. It was that time of year, whatever. Musashi knew that. He told that boy to look down. If you see these ants, which he surely knew was going to be there, that means that the gods are smiling on you. And that's the cheat code part. That's the finesse. And the little boy was successful. And he avenged his father. I don't know what happened to the little boy. Hope he didn't fight again. I hope he didn't. But he was successful. That's the cheat code that these guys in the Manospheres are looking for. When these dudes pay all this money to these gurus, these fake gurus, or these guys, these hustlers, or whatever you want to call them, that's what they're looking for. So when you put cheat code, confidence, communication skills, I would just take away the cheat code part and just put confidence and communication skills is the way. And that takes work. In order to be the best version of yourself, these are some of the things that you're going to have to work on. And I'm with you 100%. And that's the problem. You know what I mean? I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. If I was a shady type dude, I'd be cleaning up in the Manosphere. I'll be cleaning up. I got access to the top tier dudes, man. People know me. I can sit down shoulder to shoulder. I'm riding around Miami with these people. You know what I mean? I'm sitting in the car with Fresh. Fresh did a video years ago talking about DL Saint bought me a Lamborghini. You know what I mean? It was a keychain. I got it for his birthday. I'm right there with these people, man, hanging out. I hardly take pictures when I'm with people. I was with Andrew Tate up there in the Fresh and Fit studio, kicking it with Andrew Tate. I didn't think to take pictures. I don't take pictures, bro. I like to lurk in the shadows, man. Taking pictures was a no-no in my world. Pictures always wind up in front of the police, bro. I don't but I'm just saying, if I was a shady type dude, I would clean up in the Manosphere because it's full of young men looking for cheat codes. If I was a shady dude, I'd go to church. I clean up in the church. If I want to just go out and smash some stuff, bro, go to church, man. Man, there's some women in there, bro. I'm telling you, you can go through the top 3 churches in your town. Come on, man. You getting all kind of downs. So where these women run, they doing all this stuff in the streets. When they get done, you know, doing a 304 stuff, where do they run? They run to the church. I tell people that all the time. I stay away from the church, man. Me and God got an agreement, bro. I stay out of his church, man, and he, you know what I mean? He allows me to live another day. But you're right, though, man. They're just looking for that stuff, man. Cheat code, Philippines. All right, cheat code, last good man understand. Cheat code, Philippines or Brazil or Colombia. All right, I keep telling you. You tell that to some of these dudes who are like socially awkward, almost on the spectrum, kind of, that's a cheat code. Go to the Philippines, go to Brazil, go to wherever. Yeah, man, they can get their pockets ran over there. You need game, you need understanding. I mean, you go back and forth all the time on that, bro. You need understanding. You tell a dude the cheat code is to go to the Philippines and that guy is a social misfit. Like he is completely out of it. He's going to get his pockets ran over there. Man, you talked about that when we did the show. You were talking about the one dude who was over there chasing after the wrong type woman, right? You know what to do. You know how the game is played over there. You know how to find a good woman. But most of these dudes don't. They've never dealt with women ever, really. They've been invisible their whole lives. You're gonna send them somewhere, man. The wrong girl get a hold of him. He's through. He's through. Angela Knight, thank you for that, brother. Brother Pitney. Brother Smeebles, come back to your power earlier this week. Men want to conquer something, but are doing it any way they can. Talking in areas of wanting sex. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, man. Dudes are, man, they're trying to figure it out, man. That's always going to be the case. And we see the numbers, less and less men are getting intimacy, they're getting less and less men are getting sexual access, but that's not the case with women. Women are still at the same numbers they've been at historically. So what does that mean? That means that women are going after top tier guys and older men. Older men, top tier dudes, that's what they're doing. They're just not messing with the guys at their level, at their age, in their age group, man. Brother Smeebles, Brian's talking points are all from Myron's mouth. Yep, just copy and paste. That's a fact, brother. He even reads off his laptop of Myron's speaking points. That is the truth, man. And he's getting the bread, man. He's getting the money. Like I said, dude's all about the money. I'm never gonna knock another man's hustle. You want to do this? You want to hustle? Use somebody else's talking points, build a platform, man. Go ahead and do it. Right? You want to get out there and you want, you know what I mean? You want to slang that green, slang that hard. You know what I mean? Slang that patty. I know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about those street pharmaceuticals specialists, salesmen. You want to get out there and sell dope? Go ahead and sell dope. You want to get out there and hit licks? You want to get out there and do robberies, rob banks and stuff like that, man? Go ahead and do it. I'm not going to do that stuff. I'm not. I'm not trying to do any kind of time like that. I don't knock anybody's hustle, man, but I see what you're doing, and I gotta stay away from it. Some of them, and that's what Rich Cooper is talking about. Brother Cody's in the building. Cody's king. You know what I mean? Being fat is mean spirited. Facts. Facts. She doing what again, DL? I don't know what I said. I'm just trying to catch up. I don't know what I said. Samurai, the 1 through 3 trilogy tells Musashi's story. I saw that, man. It doesn't tell. The Book of the Five Rings is really what you want to read. If you want to like delve into Musashi, you must read the Book of the Five Rings. Get that. I don't care what translation you get. That's a good one. You can get a ton of them. There's so many different translations. But get Book of the Five Rings. If you want to start with Musashi, start there. Definitely on my must read list is Musashi, right next to Sun Tzu, Art of War, right next to Unplugged Alpha. Real talk. Like real talk. There's so many books, like the book of what's the Book of Power? Yeah, Power, which is behind me too. You guys can't see it, but it's back there. That's another one. That's another good one to read. I mean, Brother Mandrell, I love Miyamoto Musashi. I want to have read his books several times. Yeah, I've looked up to him for many years. Yeah, bro. Next time I go to Japan, you can go to Japan and go to the cave where Musashi went. Basically, at the end of his life, he went to this cave and he's like, I'm going to go and write down my life story or whatever. And that is the Book of the Five Rings. That cave exists. It's in Japan. You can go and visit there. And next time I go to Japan, that's the first place I'm going. The first place I'm going. I want to go there. I want to go. I don't know if they made it in a museum per se, but it's more like a shrine. You can go see it. I want to go see that. Last time I was in Japan, we were at this small samurai museum, and I actually got to hold one of Musashi's swords. They had Musashi steel. It didn't have the handle on it, but it was just steel. And it was on loan from one of the major museums in Japan. We just happened to go into this our people found this real cool samurai museum. I got pictures of it on my Instagram, I think. And yeah, I'll go. Matter of fact, I might put some more up. But I actually got to hold in my hands one of Musashi's swords in my hand. Like the curator, he brought it down because I knew who Musashi was. It was a small tour. We had our own private tour. And it was the owner of the museum who actually just happened to be there, and he kind of went with us. And he realized I knew who Musashi was, and he could see in my eyes how impressed I was with all of the whole culture, really, of Bushido and everything that was there in this museum. And he reached up and grabbed that sword and put it in my hands. And he saw the look on my man. That was one of my top experiences in life ever. He saw the look in my eyes. I'm like, I'm holding Musashi's sword. Pause. But I was. You know what I mean? Brother Grill Visions in the building. What's good? What's good? Casual Germ. I don't do pictures either. And I'm not famous. Hey, bro, Casual Germ's in the building, man. That's the one thing that I have to work on more and more. Like when we go and we do stuff, I have to take pictures because I have to remind myself to take pictures because it's the world that I'm in now. And that's the business side of this. That's the business side. If I do an event somewhere and, like we were at Donovan Sharp's party, he had a cigar party in Miami. And I had to remember to take pictures. Grios was there. He was running around taking photos and we had to get the photos. And because Grios was there, I wasn't pulling my phone out. But Troy Francis was there. I could have got some content with Troy. I could have just pulled out the phone, started the camera up, and like, hey, I'm here with Troy Francis. Pearl Davis was there. I was talking to Pearl. Didn't get any pictures with her. Didn't want to. But, I was there with her producer. There was so many people there. And I was just like, I gotta remember to take these pictures. That's part of the business. You know what I mean? That's part of, conforming to your business or being good at what you're doing. Viking Paradigms in the building. What's good, fam? It's like, yeah, I had to force myself to remember to take even some pics on my visits. Facts, bro. Facts. I mean, if you got the money, speaking of pictures, if you got the money, you're going to be somewhere and you want somebody to take pictures, get Brother Grios to do it. Grios Vision. He'll come through. He'll take all the pictures, have the drone out. You know what I mean? You'll get stills and, video. Holler at someone like Brother Grios. He'll come down there and take all the pictures you need. But that's the business side of it. Last good man, Jersey. Don't argue the point versus the minority guys on the spectrum. Most guys who travel are regular guys who want better outcomes. That is true. That is true, bro. But here's the thing. Since this whole passport bro thing hit, it's not just those guys who travel now. It's not. Like, I've been traveling forever, right? It's not, you got people out there who've been doing this forever. This ain't new. But this passport bro thing is. So you got guys who wouldn't normally travel. People who've never had passports, never thought about getting passports, get their passports and they travel to countries not really knowing what they're getting themselves into. I'm referring to those guys. And those guys who are coming out of the bottom 80, trying to cheat code their way to a dime situation or to the top tier, which, yeah, if you get on a plane as an American to go to the Philippines, bro, you've just leveled up. You've just leveled up. You're in a higher tier just because you're there. Americans make more money. The dollar is stronger than whatever, what currency they use over there. Is it bot? What currency do they use over there? I don't even know. You know what I mean? But if you go down to Colombia, yeah, the dollar is stronger than the Colombian peso. You know what I mean? So, but those guys are going not understanding fully what they're getting themselves into. And this is where you get these stories coming out now. These dudes are getting drugged, they're getting beat up, they're getting kidnapped, and worse, they're getting deleted because they're not regular guys who want better outcomes. These are the dudes who have no clue how to deal with women. They have no social presence whatsoever. They're oblivious to what's going on around them, and they're getting caught up. I'm talking about them dudes trying to cheat code their way right into a good situation. Brother Cody's like, Mandrill line that he can read. It's hilarious. Oh, man. See, Cody getting that. Give me Mandrill. Mandrill will be back. Wait till you see that. You funny, boy. Scam Likely Show. I avoid passport bros when I travel. They're everywhere now. To say I avoid passport bros when I travel is like, now you're avoiding Americans. And why? Because them dudes don't know what they're doing. Game goofy. And when you point this out to them, they get mad. They still think about it. You'll get a guy from America, an invisible dude from the bottom 80, get his passport and go down to the DR. He goes down to the DR. And he might be down there for 4 days. And one of those days, he meets a woman who maybe she's in the game or whatever, but her approach is so smooth that he doesn't even realize that she's a pro. She comes back to the crib. She rocks his world. He pays her money, but it wasn't established up front. She just, after it was all over, oh, baby, I didn't get to go to work because I met you and I have to bring money home or my dog is going to go hungry or my babysitter whatever. She comes up with some excuse. Just, oh, no problem, baby. How much? How much for the babysitter? $500. No problem. Here's $500 because he doesn't understand the game, right? But what does she normally get for the same encounter? $50, $25. She just got 500. And he's like, that's my girlfriend. Now he's, he's Western Union money or, Cash Apping and all that good stuff. Man, I ain't mad. Hey, man, game peep game. I'm not mad. Colombia peso, cool. Yeah, I didn't know, bro. I've never, I said Colombia, Philippine peso. That's cool, bro. I never been. Viking Paradigm. He's like, yes, sir. That's why Grios was there. I hired him to work the whole CME weekend for me. That was smart, bro. That was so smart, man. Now, like I said, man, Grios, he does good work, man. He is definitely worth the investment. I'm not lying to you, bro. It's not just what he does while he's there getting the photos and dragging around these big old. He has this rig where it's like it's a flash. You ever seen like photographers have those big old flashes that are like separate. They come with their own stand or whatever, and so he'll be dragging that thing around, bro, and taking pictures and doing all kind of stuff, getting into every situation, every nook and cranny. Man, Don DeMarco, the brother Grills. Telling you, y'all need somebody to take pictures. Y'all need to holler at that brother. I don't care where you are in America, he will come to you. Yeah, he's definitely worth the investment, man. Definitely worth the investment, bro. Brother Schmeebles, but like you mentioned in last week's pod about the passport bros, a lot of South American countries are going of USA or going off the USA dollar because of the influx. So it's no longer a viable option. I think that's what you're saying. Like, here's the thing. The passport bros went down there with their game goofiness, and they've managed to take all of the advantages away. Them women ain't trying to get paid in pesos now, bro. Pesos. Yeah, pesos. Now they're trying to get paid in US dollars. And that's what they did, bro. They messed up their own game. And here's the thing: is if you know what you're doing with women, you can still go down to Colombia and come up on a dime. And you gotta have game. You gotta have understanding. You gotta have, know how to code approach, all that stuff. It's just so many women down there are in that world. They're in it's people like, well, how can you tell? It's like, man, I would say 70 to 75% of the women in Colombia, in the big cities, Cartagena, Bogota, Medellin, Cali, those women, 75% of them are in the game, bro. That's just how they eat, man. That's how they support their families. It is what it is. I'm not making a judgment on it. It is what it is. They're not doing it so they can get some nice clothes in a bag. They're doing it so they can support their family. It's not like in America, right? It's not like here. So these passport bros, what they should do now, in my opinion, especially if they're paying, they should just go ahead and stay there. Stay in America. Just stay, go to a big city. Go to LA. Go to Vegas. Go to Vegas. Instead of going to Colombia, go to Vegas. Go to Vegas. You can get whatever you want. You want your beautiful Colombian woman to come and hang out and give you a girlfriend experience to smash. You can do that in Vegas. It's going to cost you probably the same amount of money that you will pay in Medellin. Probably the same amount of money after you factor in hotel accommodation, food, airfare, all that kind of stuff. It might be cheaper just to stay in America and go to Vegas and get you a baddie from, there's tons of women who from Colombia, from Brazil, from DR in Vegas in the business. They're working girls. Brother Cody's like at Brothers Meals, pretty sure the value of the dollar will still be worth it. I don't know, man. Like the kind of money that I'm hearing, brother Cody, the kind of money that I'm hearing that women are getting from these passport bros is US. It's a lot, man. We're talking $200, $300, $500 and up. I mean, bro, the normal rate, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, the normal rate would have been about, I don't know, $40. It's something like that, maybe less. It would have been cheap because it was in peso. You had to do the conversion. It was cheap. It was cheap. Like you can, get them to come for the whole weekend. This one dude was like, yeah, I'm down here for the weekend, man. This is just like my Colombian girlfriend. She comes over. I give her $300, man. She's here for 4 days. 4 days. Now these women are down there getting, $100, $200, $300 a pop. That's American. That's like it's $300 US. Like, bro, those are American rates, bro. And the guys are guess, well, they're just so beautiful. Like, well, there are Colombian women here in America, bro. Central Florida, Tampa, Orlando, man, oh my God. The Latin world, stop it. Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Palm Beach, stop it. Atlanta, DC, New York, LA, Vegas, stop it. Right? You spending that kind of bread, bro. You might as well stay in America. And maybe you won't get kidnapped. Maybe. No guarantees on that. You know what I mean? Man, Jill saw your post, Cody. You better be looking for red dots floating around the house, man, because, them Green Berets, man, they have a tendency of getting wherever they want to get. Viking Paradigm. I need 2 jets. Help me run a class tonight, but I'll be hitting you up soon, DL. My studio's looking good, and I'm getting a website built by one of Jay Waller's guys. Oh, that's what's up, bro. I hope you hear this. Once you get it up and running, man, we got to get you on here, man. I want to talk about getting shadow banned. I am certain that the algorithm does not like my content, man. I don't know if it's me or the algorithm, bro. I would love to get you on here so you can school me on that, bro. So shout out to you. You know what I mean? Let me get back. I'm gonna show all the chats, man. Sorry, I done got behind trying to read them all. I'm gonna show all the chats, but I'm gonna get back to the video. Let's just listen to what brother Rich Cooper has to say.
Relentlessly going on about how to have a strong frame in a long-term relationship. I spent an entire weekend with this guy and how important it is. He'll sell advice on how to do it, yet is revealed during that weekend to have no frame in his own relationship, and his girlfriend at that time capitalized his time with excessive drama into perpetuity that weekend. Another one says to have an amazing bisexual girlfriend that is compliant, loving, and brings other women into the bedroom for threesomes, yet has been exposed to have an abusive girlfriend that physically assaults and batters him. I saw the text exchanges on this one. Tells men never to listen to the dating advice of female dating coaches. If you go back into the Manosphere, 2017, 18, 19, 20, in and around then, there was a lot of uniform conversations around, it's a men's space, so let's keep it that way. And they would say, don't work with female dating coaches. Don't take the advice of women and dating coaches. And now many of them today work with these female dating coaches. Another one tells men they are legends for betting. Tells men that they themselves are legends for betting 1,000+ beautiful women. Then they'll admit that some of these women that they had sex with were transsexuals and born as biological men.
So, yeah, those 2 things. Hey, man. These dudes get out here, they make the money, they get the shine, and then the truth comes out. You out here banging, women who were born men. Those people are going to come out and tell you what time it is. That happened on No Jumper. When Adam 22 put house phone right on blast, had the trans person sitting there, and the trans person like, well, I really don't want to put dude out there like that, but yeah, we did something. House phone. You talking about another person that I never met in person, but just his personality on, on the lives. Like, that's somebody I wouldn't want to talk to. This dude right here, nah. And I don't watch No Jumper. Adam 22 is just too wild for me. I stay away from that. But No Jumper podcast will be thrown into the Manosphere. So now you got these hardcore hip hop type dudes. That bubble is swirling around within the Manosphere, bro. And if you don't know what you're doing, you can find yourself in a situation, right? So that's crazy. It is what it is. I don't look down on people, man. Smash what you want to smash, man. The way I look at it, man, I'm more of a Roman with it, bro. Like, you do what you want to do. I don't care, man. That's you. That's you and them, right? But don't come out here, right? Don't come out here and be like, I'm this player, da. Nah, man. Like, you sound like you ready to go into prison or something, man. That's that word over there. Nothing wrong with it, but keep that over there, man. What if stay over there with that? You know what I mean? And then the thing about, not listening to female dating coaches. And now what are they doing? They're all running to female dating coaches or whatever. Why? Because that's where the money is. These dudes, right? I've been working my butt off to get females on this podcast. I'm still going to make it happen. And I am convinced when I start getting these women on the podcast, get these fine chicks on the podcast, either here in studio with me or out in the street in real life, I think the viewership is going to go up. Dudes like to see pretty women and listen to what they have to say. I accept that. I ain't tripping. It is what it is. Right? So why do people want to have pearly things on their show, whatever, when she was popping? Because that was going to bring you the money. Right? That's look at the stuff that I've been reacting to. I react to female coaches all the time. Are they 100% wrong whenever they open their mouth about dating? No. You know what I mean? They're not always wrong, but a lot of their advice doesn't work in today's world for men. Like, what they're giving it to you from a female perspective. So what you got to do is listen to what they say and think your way through it. Right? That's what you got to do. The world is all about what? What are we talking about over here? It's about the old
think tank. Arch, nothing gets past the old think tank. Nothing.
You got to put it through the old think tank. Listen to what they say, man. Like, okay, there's something there. 95% of what they say might not work for you, but that 5% might be golden, bro. Like, I mean, okay, this part right here is cool. But to sit back and like, oh, female dating coaches don't know what they're talking about. Most dating coaches, you could argue, don't know what they're talking about. It depends on who you are and how this stuff applies to you in the situation that you're in the part of the country or world that you're in. Right? It's a lot of stuff that I say that don't apply to a lot of folks, man. It's like we could get into some real top tier, you know what I mean, like high IQ player talk if you want to. We can get into like some real player talk, you know what I mean, kind of like Brother Dose of Game talks about on his platform, but most people wouldn't understand what the hell I was talking about. Especially if I'm using if I'm talking the way we talk on the streets, y'all won't understand me. It's like I'm speaking a different language. A lot of times I'll be talking like the time I was talking about handcuffing. And people didn't. I thought that was universal, and then it took what two or three shows later when finally people realized what I meant by handcuffing. They're like, "Oh, I thought you actually meant handcuffing them with handcuffs." Like, nah, it's a term. So it was like, oh, if I really was to talk in the native tongues, let's say that I came up with, man, you would have no idea what I'm talking about. So, and that's not just a black, white, Latin thing. It's more of a social economic thing. Like, you didn't come from my hood. So my lingo ain't gonna make sense to you. Just like the lingo they use out there in LA. A lot of that lingo didn't make sense to me because I ain't from out there. Just the way they talk in Texas is different than the way they talk in Louisiana, which is different than the way they talk in Georgia, right? Which is different than the way they talk down in Dade, down in Miami, right? That's just how that is. So I'm always thinking like, well, let me say this a different way. Let me not use this term. But I'm not gonna go highbrow. And I can have that conversation with Myron and Fresh because I know what level they operate on. But that's not going to work for people who are just trying to level themselves up, man. We got to talk at an entry level point. You know what I mean? Like, all right, let's talk about what's going on down here. I've been here. You know what I mean? Like, I absolutely have been here. You know what I mean? Yeah, I didn't know that either, man. These guys are going out here smashing transformers, bro. That's fine. Do what you want to do. But I'm not on that. Right, guys. Yeah, house phone was. I just want to, and this is the stuff that I talk about with people. Like, man, y'all got to look at this, and you have to make your own determination on each and every person you come across, especially in these different spaces, man. We're talking about the Manosphere, Red Pill world. You got to vet who you talking to, not just vet these women. You got to vet these people, bro. I went down there and vetted Myron and Fresh before I decided that I'm going to rock with these guys. I went down there to vet them. Let me see what's up with these cats. Organic was down there that weekend. Organic is a real one, bro. Don't mess around with Organic, bro, unless you ready for the pain. I'm telling you right now, Organic is a real one. He playing for keeps. Don't walk up on him thinking it's a game, right? But he's a cool guy. He's a cool dude, but he's doing what I'm doing. He's paying attention. He trust me, he'll see you long before you see him. Believe me when I tell you. Right? So I went down there to see what was up with Myron and Fresh. It was cool. Like the guy that kicked in, remember the dude that lift weights that kicked in the door or whatever at the studio, that guy and his other friend, the photographer guy, I met those guys at the 100,000 party. I forget their names, but bro, them dudes were suspect. When I was sitting there talking to them, they were suspect. And that was one of the reasons why Myron was so upset because them dudes were saying that they were going to bring all these women or whatever. Those guys that set up the venue, which was trash, they set up this venue and it made sense to me. It's like y'all dealing with hood dudes, man. They're going to bring you to a hood situation. Simple as that. You got to give these people boundaries, man. Like, all right, You can set up the party, but it's gonna be here. It has to be a spot here in Brickell. Man, they had us in the hood somewhere, bro. Straight up in the hood. I wouldn't have gone there if it been anybody else. But I wanted to see if Myron and Fresh knew about this. And the minute they showed up, soon as Myron got there, I knew in that moment, like, yep, he didn't know. Like Myron was tight, bro. He was hot. He was hot, bro. He was ready to fight, man. He was so mad. And Fresh was just kind of like, what is this? So again, you gotta be able to read between the lines, people. You know what I mean? Scam like men smashing men. I guess they call it the Manosphere. And that's what Rich Cooper was saying. The name sounds like a gay nightclub, Manosphere. That's funny. Brother Cody is king. Fat chicks, ugly chicks, and men don't count to your bodies. Yeah, it's facts, man. At least not as a positive. Hey, man, I tell people all the time, like, okay, yeah, if you've been smashing big girls, bro, I guess they count. Right? But my thing is, who you rocking out with that you want on your arm that you'll bring to like these events. And what gets me is most these dudes, especially the bottom 80 dudes, they bring fat girls with them, man. They be proud to have them on their arm. Come on, girl, we up in here. I'm like, whoa, that's you? Homie, that's who you been talking about? That's the one? Yeah, man, ain't she fine? Like, man, we can't let you in here, bro. Put the rope right up. Like, nah, man, we can't let you in here. Sorry. Sorry. You're gonna have to sit in somebody else's section, man. You can't sit over here, bro. And people are like, oh, that's so harsh. Why would you say something like that? I'm like, man, that's how the world is, bro. You cannot, that you losing points. If I'm hanging out with a big girl, I'm losing points. I'm losing points. That's just how it works. You have to be fine. That's crazy, brother Mandrill. Will you be dropping the link? I could. I'll drop the link, bro. Yeah, I'll drop it. Why not? I haven't dropped the link in a minute, man. Why not? Give me a second. Let me pull this up. We can definitely talk about this. Let's see. Would you consider starting a panel show on a separate channel? I like these shows the way they are. It kind of feels like we're just kicking it and smoking cigars with the guys. Maybe, bro. I mean, that's a good idea. I never thought of it that way. I mean, it's just, I would love to do more panel shows, but I want to have content and panel shows that make sense. But because Mandrell asked for the link and I haven't dropped the link in a long time, I was like, well, let me just drop the link and see what's going on. But I mean, I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna keep it 100 with you, man. I love to have women on, especially women whose point of views I respect. So if I get a shot like that, we could talk and see what's going on the other side. But I don't know, man. Let me think about that, bro. Do another show with just panel, just the panel, and then just keep this the way it is. I'll keep this the way it is for now, for sure, bro. Thanks for that, man. Thank you very much, bro. Yeah, Transformer robots in disguise, bro. For real, for real. Yeah, Cody's like, come back after a few pounds, bro. Yeah. Yeah, man. So the link is there, man. You guys definitely pop up. And while we wait for Mandrell, I know Mandrell definitely show up. While we waiting on that, let's listen to a little bit more of Rich Cooper.
And one of my favorites, and I'll get to the last two in a second, is calls men and dating coaches. And now many of them today work with these female dating coaches. Another one tells men they are legends for betting. Tells men that they themselves are legends for betting 1,000+ beautiful women. Then they'll admit that some of these women that they had sex with were transsexuals and born as biological men. And one of my favorites, and I'll get to the last two in a second, is calls men that sends money simps to OnlyFans women. Yet it was found out that the manager of an OnlyFans agency is getting money for his girls from the same guy that calls these OnlyFans guys, subscribers simps. I could not believe it when I saw this one. There was literally a tweet calling these guys simps, and then the manager of these OnlyFans girls, you can take a guess who it might be, sent me a screenshot of this guy's email with his name in the email. It was clearly him making a monthly subscription payments to his OnlyFans agency to one of his girls.
which is hilarious. And the guy was like, "Well, I was just doing that for entertainment value." Like, man, cut that out, bro. What I have discovered, man, what I have discovered in my limited time over here dealing with the Manosphere, because remember, I'm a fresh and fit guy. I don't, I'm just now really starting to delve out into the Manosphere. It's two different worlds here, bro. You know what I mean? It's real talk. It's two different worlds. The fresh and fit audience, the core audience who comes to support the events and live events and stuff like that, these dudes are not the typical Manosphere dudes, right? So you got these guys, man. These guys are out here, bro. They have no game. They don't know what they're doing, right? All of a sudden, they hit the jackpot or whatever. They get in there, they get some clout, they do some stuff. They're actually playing a character, right? They're getting in character. It's not who they really are, and the truth comes out, right? There are dudes out here who just cannot help themselves when women come in the room. They act a different way. They can't. Who was talking about it? Andrew Tate was talking about it a couple years ago. There are guys out there you can't do business with, man, because you got guys who like, well, let me run everything by my wife or whatever, and they just can't make a decision. You got those type dudes, which I'm not knocking that, right? My thing is, I'm not going to put it off on my wife. You got dudes out there like, well, I can't make any major decisions unless my wife signs off. Don't tell me that. Just say, hey, man, let me think this through, bro. I'll get back to you tomorrow. They don't have to know who you're going to talk to. I encourage guys who have their wife, their number one fan, their right hand, the person who takes care of the bills, the person who structured everything, the mastermind behind everything. I ain't got a problem with going back to her and talking to her about stuff, but I'm not going to tell you that's what I'm doing. Let me give me a night, bro. Let me think this over. I'm gonna go back and talk to my wife. Hey, baby, what do you think? What do you think? I'm gonna make a decision on this tomorrow. She's gonna give me her input, and I'm gonna make my decision. But you got guys out there who just allow their wives to make the decision. It's like, okay, you might not want to do business with that guy. Do business with the wife, right? If whatever it is, don't do business with him. Do business with the person who can make the decision. And then you got guys out there who just can't be around women without trying to smash them. There's guys out there like we can't even discuss making money because Nina the Pineapple walked in and you done lost your damn mind. Like you over here running over, or Xena the Witch done walked in and you over here trying to get on with her. We can't even do business because you over here trying to smash every female that comes walking into the room. I can't do business with guys like that either. So when I look at someone like Myron or Fresh, them dudes take care of business. Like Fresh doesn't rule by the women he's out here chasing or whatever. They just out here doing their thing. They can still conduct business. You know what I mean? And look, Cody got me. He told Mr. Pitt, he's trying to say that he want to talk to entertaining people, not plebs like us. Come on, man. Come on, Cody. Why you clowning on me, bro? Why you clowning on me, bro? You know what I mean? I love having you up, man. I love to sit back and watch it go crazy, especially when we got women. Man, we get a good pound on you, jump up. I done seen Cody run people up out the chat, bro. I just be sitting back enjoying it, man. Like, oh, Cody's crazy. You know what I mean? So nah, man, y'all my dudes. Y'all my day ones, especially if you got a wrench behind your name, man. Y'all my day ones, bro. I definitely want to hear from you. You know what I mean? But but Brother Pitney, man, I didn't look at it the way you were looking at it, man. It's kind of like we just sitting around having cigars. That's what's up, because that's what we do with the New Templars, bro. We get together once a month in a cigar lounge, man. We sit around, we talk, we handle our business as far as the organization is concerned, and then we make our plans, and then we just sit back and we chop it up. You know what I mean? Hey, man, fellas, for real, since I got y'all listening, how would y'all feel if I set something up out here in Tampa, bro? Would you guys be willing to come out to Tampa and like we could have a cool ass event, bro? Like we could do like a 2-day. You know what I mean? I could bring some speakers out or something like that. I'm not talking about doing like a conference, but just a meetup. How would y'all let me know, man? How would y'all feel about a meetup in Tampa, bro? You know what I mean? Of course, it's going to be a comedy show involved because that's what Uncle Saint does, but it's also going to be a yacht party involved, right? And then we're going to, I'm going to take y'all to where I kick it. You know what I mean? To some of the top spots in Tampa. Off the top of my head, definitely will be at the Edition. Be at the Edition on Friday night, yacht party Saturday afternoon, and then we'll close out with speakers. We'll have like an event where we close out with some speakers and have a comedy show. That's just off the top of my head. Who would be interested in something like that? Like, who would want to come to Tampa and have a meetup? And of course, we would invite everybody, man. I'll hit up, Fresh and CEO Network, hit up the Fresh and Fit boys, hit up the Valuetainment people, hit up our brothers out there in Dallas, our brothers in Atlanta, our people over in Orlando. Hey, what do y'all think about that, man? Let me know. Let me know, man. Because I definitely want to do something. And Templars and I have been sitting around talking about doing a big event. We're definitely going to do one in Miami, but we also want to do one here in Tampa. So, y'all let me know. I know brother Chris will come out here, from Texas. He's already been here. You know what I mean? He's already been here. Casual Germ, the OF owner, is a guy, right? That's digital pimping. I ain't mad at him. I think he is I think he is a dude. He is a dude. I remember when he decided he was gonna take the grown-up content away, and women lost their mind. Of course, he didn't do it. Yep, those are cows. Cannot operate without a spouse. Never heard that acronym, but that works. And listen, man, it works for some dudes, bro. That arrangement works for some dudes. I'm not tripping. I don't have a problem with a guy who works closely with his wife, especially if his wife knows what she's doing and she can structure, their organization in such a way that it's successful for them and their family. My thing is, why am I talking to the dude? I need to talk to your wife. You know what I mean? Like, well, if we're going to plan something, I need to be with the person who's going to green like this. I don't need to be talking to anybody else. You got me in. You're the salesman. You're the lead. You're like the point guy. Fine. Now it's time to close this thing. And if she's the closer, then that's who I need to talk to. Right. And again, I don't mean to throw any shade or anything like that. I know couples who've gone out there and they work in such a way that the woman makes the decision and it's fine. And if that's wrong, if people like that's sacrilege or whatever, like blasphemy, how dare you say that? Hey man, that's their situation. It works. Dude driving around in a Bentley. She did something right. You know what I mean? I'm looking at their home. They got multiple properties. I'm looking at their home. I'm like, shit. When they stay in hotels that impress me. Y'all know I'm bougie. I'm like, damn. This is when the elevator opens up into the suite. Like, shit, this y'all room? Yeah, she took care of all that. Brother Kobe was like, weak. Like, if you can do an event in a few months, I'll come up from down under. We could definitely make it happen. The event itself is not hard to put together, man. It's just a matter of saying go. Like, bro, Brother Smeebles, I'll hit you up, man. I'll hit you up, bro. Because we could just make it happen. You know what I mean? Scam likely like Tampa is too far. Scam is like 45 minutes away. Boy, something wrong with you. But Smeebles, I'm gonna hit you up, bro. I'm gonna hit you up. If you're talking about coming to the States, if you're gonna be in the States in a couple months, man, you're saying a few months, you're gonna be in the States in 3 or 4 months, then yeah, bro, I'll set it up. I'll set it up. Come to Tampa and then we can go down to Miami, bro. You know what I mean? Because that is what it is, man. We got a problem, man. Brother Mandrell is in the building, man. What's good, fam? What's going on, man? I just showed you love. Man? What's happening?
What's going on? Yeah, I would say something about these passport bros, man.
Uh-oh.
Y'all better watch out. Y'all better watch yourselves. Y'all gave the whole game away. It shows that y'all still don't know what you're doing.
They still don't. Before you continue, I just want to read your chat. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? The gangs and cartels are also selling women down there, so they caught on to the gang too. So and you say that's because of the passport bros, right?
Yeah. There's a whole sex tourism market now. Yeah, gangs and cartels selling women. They putting women out there. It's not at brothels or anything, but they put women out there to look for Americans. And then like they have you pay little kids, hey kid, you see somebody like this, it looks like this, let me know. So when kids see Americans, they go back and tell people, I saw some Americans out here this way. They were heading over there. So if a kid asks you for some money or something like that, and they try to start a conversation, give them the wrong information.
And here's the thing too, people are like, well, how do they know, man, Joe, that you're American? Because you wearing shorts, baggy shorts with flip-flops, you got your hat on backwards. You stick out like a sore thumb. You got
You don't dress like
gold
them.
chains on. You
don't
don't
dress-
dress like them.
You don't dress
speak
like
English.
Yeah, fluid English. You don't have an accent.
Zero.
And
In
then
what
when
country-
you speak Spanish, you still got an accent.
Still got it. Yeah.
So-
Hola, como estar.
Right.
So in what country in particular are you talking about, bro?
Colombia. So you and Mexico as well. The cartel in Tijuana, that's one. You get cartels down there in Colombia, they're on it too. A couple of passport pros end up getting deleted because the women asked for money after the fact. Guy said, nah, because he thought he was out on a date with this chick. Like an actual date. He thought he actually met a woman and was gonna take her out and they were gonna start dating. That wasn't the case.
So, and do me a favor, because there might be some people who are watching that don't know who you are, man. Please give them your background, because what you're saying makes a lot of sense. And I know where this is coming from, but there be some people out there who are watching this now and watch this in team replay. They won't have any idea. Like, well, who is this dude talking this shit? Tell them who you are.
Spent 6 years in the U.S. Army Special Forces and the 7th Special Forces Group. Our AO was South America. Yes, the entire continent. So, yeah, when it comes to the culture and practices down there, I'm pretty knowledgeable about it. And I do keep up with it. I got colleagues that still ring me on the phone, tell me what's going on. Nothing classified or anything, but they give me the gist of it. And yeah, y'all in trouble. So yeah, I do have an idea of what I'm talking about, at the very least.
Just a little bit. He knows just a little bit.
Just a little.
Hey,
Because I'm seeing, I read, look, I heard and read about it. I just kind of chuckled. I'm like, yeah, part for the course. That was going to happen eventually, but it's just
going to happen.
How this one dude got set up. Like, he honestly thought he was out. This chick liked him. He honestly thought he was out on a date with this chick the whole time. And she spent the whole weekend with him. Then she asked for money. He's like, money? No, I didn't know this was about money. But, you know what I mean? The whole 9 yards. And then, she went back and told people and the people she worked with, and they came and they wanted that money. He didn't want to give it up. So
he didn't want to give it up. And here's the thing, and I'm gonna get to the last good man in Jersey here in a second, which is my homeboy. He's been on this platform. We've done some shows. We've been having this debate, this discussion. What, a year now, bro? We've been going back and forth on this. So here's the thing. Passport bros need game. And when I use the term game, people think I'm talking about womanizing. I'm talking about the game of life. If you're going to a different area, you better be trained up. Mandriel, how much time did you spend training up to do what you did?
2 years. so I mean,
you better be trained up.
Yeah, it takes that long, man. I mean, so language school is 4 months of that. Just on the language.
Just the language is just the 4 months, which is insane. That's quick as a month. But anyway, 4 months.
And that's quick. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you're right. That's quick.
That's quick. Scam, I say you want to pull you up in a second, bro. I see you. So here's the thing. When I talk about game and I talk about these things, like what you just said, that story right there, the average guy, it blows his mind. This man who had no game whatsoever in this country, let alone that country, he wasn't socially in tune to what was going on. He meets a beautiful woman. And this woman is like the best beautiful woman he's ever seen. She's talking, she's saying stuff, amor this, te amo that. You know what I mean? He's taking her out, eating whatever. She knows in the back of her mind, all right, in 15 minutes, I'm going to go back to this hotel room and I'm going to smash. You know what I mean? I'm going to smash. And he's going to pay me, because in her mind, she's like, of course I'm doing this for the money. And he's like, well, no, we're falling in love. Just like in the movie I saw Pretty Woman. Well, in the real Pretty Woman, the cartel kicks the door down. They put a shotgun in your mouth and they demand their money. And if you ain't got their money, they pull the trigger. That's the real Pretty Woman, fellas. That's the game that you must have the understanding. So last good man in Jersey, I said all that to show this. Passport bros are not all the same. The DR travelers are not the same as the Philippine travelers. Here's the thing. Some are, my friend.
And the cartels don't care what kind of passport bro you are. They don't care.
Facts.
That's the difference here. You know what I'm saying? Not all passport bros are the same. They don't care. They're gonna treat you just the same as they treat any other rest of you coming down there looking for love or sex, whatever it is. You got money? The gringos got money? Yeah. Okay, let's go get him.
They got and bro, and the thing is, oh, go ahead, bro. I didn't mean to cut you out. Go ahead. You gonna keep going?
No, I'll just say the embassy ain't finna help you either. Don't even worry about it.
Yeah, you can forget
Don't go
about
to the
that.
embassy for help. Yeah, you forget about that. The embassy is not gonna help you.
If you can get to the embassy.
Right.
That's a big if you can get to the embassy.
Yeah.
So and I'm not knocking passport bros. I'm just saying the passport bro movement is new. And there's no such thing as cheat codes, gentlemen. I'm trying to tell y'all, you better get trained up before you go somewhere. I tell people before they look, I'm from Cincinnati, Ohio. Y'all know I've been talking about this forever. We had to be gamed up before we went to Nashville. We had to be gamed up before we went to Detroit. We had to be gamed up before we went down to A-Town, to Atlanta. Right? We had to be up on it. If I meet a woman, like Bandrill said, they'll send these young boys, young kids out here to scout out these Americans, right? That absolutely happens. When the Venezuelans came in, when Venezuelan collapsed, Mandrill may or may not have something to do with that. But when Venezuela collapsed,
I told you before that wasn't our fault.
Hey,
I know exactly what happened. I was there for some.
We'll say that for another. We'll say that for another.
That's heartbreaking. It's kind of late, man.
But the thing is this: now all those young, beautiful women are over in Colombia and Medellin. You know what they're doing? They're selling coffee. They're selling coffee. They're coffee girls. Now, the average dude is not going to be able to figure that out if he doesn't have any game whatsoever. Right? He's just going, I'm just going to get this coffee. And next thing you know, she wanted to go back to my hotel room. Are you really that dense? Yes. Yes, you are, because you didn't train yourself up before you went down there. And now here come Pepe and them. You know what I mean? Here come, Ernesto and them kicking the door down because you took one of their coffee girls back to the room thinking, I'm in love. She's in love with me. Like, nah, bro, they need their money and they need US dollars. Scam Likely is in the building. What's good, Scam? How you feeling, bro?
What's going on?
Chilling?
Yeah, not to push back, but I was going to clear up a few passport bro things. I'm not a passport bro. I do travel though. Been to Colombia. I was there 3 weeks ago. I was in Colombia in October. I was in DR. Went to Panama. I might go to Cali, Colombia if they have a salsa festival. There are passport bros. There's dudes who see and know that you're black and from America. They come, hey, what's up, man? Look at these light-skinned women. Because I hate black women in the state. What do? Turn the other way. I don't talk to them dudes. Or anything that smells like actual passport bro, I don't talk to them. No. But some stuff that's true. A 22-year-old Colombian woman is probably attracted to a 25-year-old Colombian man. Just being real. Some of them have boyfriends and husbands putting them out there. Something that's not true. All Colombian women are all about that life, waiting outside the plane for an American. No, most of them in the country don't even know. There's a couple areas maybe where tourists go, little areas, and these are big cities with whole city life. They don't even know what it is. It's just a little pocket. So it's not like every Colombian woman is dreaming of hunt the American down. That's not scalable. They don't make a lot of money. That is true. Average Colombian makes about $300 or $400 a month, US. I talked to, and these are conversations I've had in English and Spanish. The cartels, I ain't never seen them. I've been to multiple countries, never seen them. It's not like as soon as you get off the plane, a cartel, hey, there's one right there. No.
You've seen
Do they exist?
You didn't know.
No, hold on.
I was going to say,
you've seen them.
Yeah, let us get this up real quick. Scam, this is just real quick. I'm gonna let you cook again, but
okay.
You didn't see them, but they saw you.
Possibly, but I'm just making it scalable.
100%. You know where I met the cartels? My man
I'm making
Alex.
it scalable.
You know
Oh,
where
go
I,
ahead.
you know where I met the Cartellis at? Aruba. That's where I met them at. And they told me when I went down to Medellin, I came back to see my man again. He was like, "Oh, I see you finally made it to Medellin." He never left Aruba. So, Scam, I'm here to tell you, bro, this is the game I need these young men and these old men to understand.
Yeah,
And I'm gonna
because
let you
just like
cook.
DL said, word got back to Medellin, right?
Well,
But the
from
guy was still,
Medellin to
but
Aruba.
yeah. But the guy was still in the other place.
Yeah,
No,
So it's like, how the hell you know that I'm here? You know what I'm saying?
no.
exactly.
What I'm saying is, it's not to where as soon as you get off the plane, hey, come here, buddy. You look American. Empty your. Now, if you decide to be reckless and glow in the dark and show up and venture off 6 blocks to the left, or you try to be too American or go to an unknown territory, yeah, you're gonna have some problems. Meaning, this is a place where people go. This is a place that's vetted. I wouldn't just show up in Caracas, Venezuela, looking American.
Boy.
You're gonna come off that suitcase. I wouldn't go off, but there's more money in keeping you American and you being able to do what you do. And unfortunately, there are a lot of Americans who go down there, like when they talk about their drug and passport bro, that could be true. Partially is true. But a lot of it, the passport bros drugging their own selves.
Well, I
People
mean,
people
but
do use. Oh, go ahead.
real quick, Tobias the
I'm just
Traveler
making it
got
more
drugged.
scalable.
Yeah, Tobias the Traveler got drugged, and that's an experienced traveler, a brother. I wouldn't call him a passport bro. He's a very experienced traveler, right?
Mhm.
And I mean, but he got drugged. He didn't show. I brought him on here. I'm like, bro, how the hell? He was like, yeah, they caught me slipping. They caught me
Okay.
slipping, but he knew what time it was, and you're 100% correct. You know about what the things that you're saying, like I like Caracas. There's some places in America, bro.
Don't go.
Don't. Hey, I'm from Cincinnati, Ohio. You better not go to Avondale. Not what you know what you're doing. People out here in America, go to Avondale and watch what happened to your ass. And you ain't gonna last 15 minutes if you ain't got a pad. You ain't got somebody there with you. And it's the same thing. Like I could go to Caracas, but I better have somebody with me.
Oh,
I
you got
could
a
go out.
sponsor. You're good.
Right.
A
So yeah,
sponsor, somebody who knows the land, that's just like America. If you got a sponsor, you're good. If you got a fake sponsor, you're screwed. But if you meet some dude and he seems cool and they somehow speak all street English and they say, man, let me show you the land. No. That means he been hustling for a long time, probably since they was a kid. They learned street English. All they do is hustle Americans all day. Every week it's a new batch.
But no, Scam, he's my new friend. He hooked
Okay.
me up with Maria.
Maria, I'm trying to think of some scams that I've seen, or ones I've heard about.
But ladies and gentlemen, mostly gentlemen who are watching this, when I say game, this is what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about going up to some chick and just be like, holla, 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 what's up? You know what I mean? That kind of thing. I'm not talking about a pickup line. I'm talking about keeping yourself alive in the situation that you happen to be in. And I don't care what country you happen to be walking around in, right? I'm pretty sure Brother Cody is King can tell us where the bad boys are in Canada. I'm pretty sure that Brother Smeebles could tell us, you know what I mean, where the bad boys are in Australia, and so on and so forth. You have to be gamed up, people. That's all I'm saying. Y'all need to broaden your horizon. Quit thinking so narrowly. That makes me mad. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, you talking about, game. That's stupid. You don't just need game. I'm like, bro, you need the game of life, the financial game. You know what I mean? The religious game, the gangster game. There's all kind of game out there, bro. Stay alive, be smart, train yourself up, listen to people who've been there and know what they're talking about. Anyone who says that Brother Mandrell don't know what he's talking about, you a fool. This guy was trained by the best. This is a Green Beret, a real live G.I. Joe sitting right here who been out there doing the work. He didn't just get the beret and sit down and start training people. He was downrange, right? That means he was in the shit. We can't even tell you about half the shit he been through. I wish we could talk about Venezuela. I really do. But we can't even talk about that. But
I'll just make it more scalable. Because some people will hear one story, like you say cartel, the way they picture it, sooner they get off the plane, the cartel is waiting there with a suitcase full of coke. People really are believing that it's that. But the truth
you're right. It ain't that obvious. It ain't.
If you move, they could know. But if you're moving wrong and you're into the wrong stuff or your head ain't on, you might get ganked. That is true. If you go 2 blocks to the east in the dark and you looking like you're a target. You might get away with it Tuesday, but if you do it Thursday, you might get ganked. Are there women slipping drugs and whatever? Yes. Are there tourists going looking for the drugs, ended up drugging their own selves? Yes. Going out asking, hey, where the party at? Oh, they got a party for you. All right. Ain't gonna be the one you want. It's gonna be an after party with your pockets inside out.
Yeah,
But
that's a fact.
a scam, yeah, a scam story. Known scam. Hustlers come up to people, look like their first time. They know when the flights come in, like from certain places. They come up to you in broken English, street English. Man, you want to find some girls? Man, this one right here. They go grab a prostitute that been ran through all 15 days in a row and say, man, this is my cousin. It's her first time coming out here, bro.
Yeah.
There's another one. A dude told me about 3 years ago that it was a guy, a girl, and then a security at a hotel. The girl goes, you get her, she looks good. Dude pays, brings her in, smashes. A moto pulls up as you bring her out the hotel. Security somehow lets her in. He gets a cut of the money. And when you get out, dude shows up, hey man, that's my cousin. What you doing? You know she's 15, you know she's 16. But I tell you what, you can either go to a Dominican jail or you can give me $400 US. Your choice. And the whole thing is a scam.
Yeah.
I heard about that one like 3-4 years before COVID, long time ago.
Yeah.
But stuff, to make it fair, can you go on vacation somewhere in another country and have a good time and be cool? Yes. I recommend hotel over Airbnb. That's something DL even said. Airbnb, you ain't got no security, you ain't got nothing. You on your own. Like them dudes with the broken chick broke the table. You got to figure your own way to get her out. You got to do everything on your own. You're getting recorded and all that, and nobody is your story against theirs if they call the police or the mob. If you're at a hotel, the hotel got a they're paid. They vet the people, the IDs, and all that other kind of stuff. They got your back. And tip these people. Give them a little something. Just a suggestion. You're cleaning ladies, whoever.
And that's funny. I want to give my precautionary tale as well, and then we'll let Mandrell give one because I'm sure he got a couple. So here's the thing. I know dudes that go down to Colombia, especially. Like Colombia's been burnt out. Thank you, Passport Bros, for burning out one of the most beautiful places I've ever been on planet Earth. You know, when it came to hollering at beautiful women. But there's a woman down there. So when I go to Medellin, I hang out with my people, and they know folks, right? So we had this young woman. She came over and she worked at one of the massage parlors down there. I think it was called Energy, right? So basically, it's just a brothel. It's a massage parlor, and they're wearing scrubs and everything else, but they ain't wearing none of them scrubs, bro. So this is how she made her money. So every customer that they had was written down like a tally in a little book. These girls would carry these books around. They couldn't leave until they got X amount. I don't know what the number was, but let's say it was 15. You can't leave until you got 15 customers. So if that means you ain't here for 2 hours, that means you ain't here for 20 hours. You can't leave until you get 15 customers, right? This woman was beautiful. I saw her walking up to the spot, right? She's walking. I'm like, man, what was that? She came up or wherever, and they was like, oh, this is my friend, whoever, blah, blah, blah. She spoke perfect English, wherever we talking. And I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm like, I'm about ready to try to holler at Shorty because she was just that fine. My dude was like, man, holler at you real quick. Took me to the back room. He was like, yo, man, she works in Energy, da 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 da. She's about to tell us what's really going on in that massage parlor. I'm like, word. So we went in there and she pulled out her little book, man. She had like 40 dudes in there. It was like 40 names, you know what I mean? Or however they tracked it, you know what I mean? That she did today. She's like, oh, I'm tired of a long day at work. Cause she smashed 40 dudes, right? 40, 4-0. And was bad. And here she gonna walk up on some regular dude, some American, some Brit, some Australian, and get married. She's probably married now because this was back in the early 2000s. She's probably married now, right? And people are like, oh my God. I'm like, bro, you will never know unless you're from down there. I wouldn't have known if my man didn't tell me. She was just that fine. So You want to talk about precautionary stories? Be careful who you hollering at. How do you know that the woman you talking to from down there, wherever down there is, wasn't working at one of them tight places where she's smashing 40 dudes a day? You know what I mean? It's just food for thought, man. Drill, you got a story?
Nothing much different from what y'all said, because the scams are the scams, and people are gonna fall for them. They use women as bait most of the time. You know what I'm saying? They do. Now, the only time they use children as bait is when they're looking for somebody specific. You know what I'm saying? Well, they'll get a kid. Hey, sir, you know, the sympathy thing. Hey, I'll show you where to go here. I said, no, don't go. They'll even tell you where not to go. They'll tell you where not to go and why. Like, you know, it's too dangerous. They don't like tourists over there. They'll take you somewhere else, though, and you get snatched up. So that I'm saying, like, even with tour guides, be careful that you get one that's vetted. And these women, don't trust shit, fellas. Don't trust them. Don't trust them.
Easiest way to get caught up.
Yeah. If they're in the tourist area, especially if they speak English, broken street English, it's BS. Where do you think they learned that English from?
Exactly.
That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying? Don't trust them, man. Stay on your P's and Q's.
Yeah, and I know y'all like the stories from old Uncle Saint. I got another story for you. I was in Aruba. Oh, y'all want to hear the story? You know what? This is actually a proper story, so I'm gonna have to go ahead and do the, and where's my button, man? Y'all know I'm getting old. I can't find my own buttons anymore. So, where's my story time button, guys? Somebody done took my damn story time button. I think I'm using it. Sorry. Anyway, it's story time. I can't come up with my I can't play my story time song because I can't find a button.
Time.
Yeah, I can't find a button, man. I'm saying, oh man, that's crazy. This is story time. And I just hit that button today too. Hold on one second.
Well, it's in the same spot. How did it move?
Watch him hit the wrong button. Holla, holla, holla.
Right.
I got all these other buttons, man. What the hell happened to my story time button?
Just take it one at a time, DL.
I'm doing it right now, man. Look at me. I'm sitting here like, look how old I look. Where the hell is somebody? Where am I good and plenty at? I can't find my goddamn.
Hey, DL, can you put up Casual Germs last comment?
Yeah, I know. Well, real quick, brother D-Mac, he's like, I disagree about staying at an Airbnb. If you out there being thirsty and hunting bottle feeders, yes, get a hotel with security. Right. I mean, there are people out there who could travel. I ain't gonna lie to you. Even in the States, I don't like Airbnb. I just don't like Airbnb, especially when I'm traveling. I'm always security minded. If I'm in LA, I don't stay in Airbnbs because that Pop Smoke was at an Airbnb. So, you wanted to see Casual Germs? Go ahead, bro.
Casual Germ. I'm in the Facebook PPB Passport Boat group. I've seen dudes post the same chick of a girl that they're dating on separate occasions, and guys in the group telling them, "Oh, that's such and such." Posted her picture. Believe that happens. I've heard stories. I've seen people. I've just observed because I've been out 10 days one time, and you see this Dominican walking with this dude, and it's her boyfriend from Chicago. Then there's a shift change on Wednesday. He go back. New flight comes in. Now she's with her boyfriend from New York. A few days later, with a Dominican boyfriend. I'm just saying. Yeah, it be happening. And they sending money and yeah.
All that good stuff. Brother Penny's right, man. There are no cheat codes. You just got to level up, gentlemen. You just have to level up. So it is what it is. But here we go, man. I was in Aruba.
Everybody sit
Found it.
Sit down, please. It's story time. It's story time.
You guys are right. Exactly where I left it. Man, I'm getting old. So here's the deal. Me and my homeboys, we're in Aruba. We're in the red light district in Aruba, right? If you guys ever been in Aruba, the red light district is on the one far end of the island. In the middle of the island is where all the touristy hotels and all that stuff is. And on the other end of the island is where the people live. And that's just how it was set up. So it's late too, man. It must be like 3 a.m. We're walking all of the red light. The way it works is you have these, I don't know, 3 or 4 blocks, and they're like little clubs. There's a bar, jukebox, maybe there's a dance floor, and there's always like a handful of women, and then in the back there are like rooms. So this is where they work. It's legal, right? It's the red light. This is legal. Back then, these women were all Colombian, and this was run by the cartel. This is in Aruba. So me and my homeboys are walking down the street, right? It's the end of the night. One of the girls in one of the big brothels was like banging on the window. We're down the street. My man was like, "Hey man, shorty trying to get your attention." And I look up like, she ain't trying to get my attention. And I look up and she's pointing and she was like doing this. So I'm like, all right. And we kept walking and my man was like, "Man, she really wants your attention. Look at what she's doing now." I look up, she done lifted up her skirt and pressed herself up against the glass, right? Like, damn. And she's like doing this. She's like, wait. They were closing up. She left. She came running out. And she just came up to me. She, like that broken street English, right? Me like you. Right. And I'm like, little shorty was fine, but I'm like, all right. I'm like, look, I'm okay. I don't want to pay. I was, no plata. And she was like, no, me like you. No plata. Me come home with you now. Like, all right. Why not? Freebie's a freebie, right? So she came back to the telly, man. This young woman was cool, hanging out or whatever, but we doing what we doing. Her phone never stopped ringing, and it wasn't locals, and it wasn't Colombia. It was America calling her. Like dudes are just calling her. She's talking to them, baby this, baby that. Guys are sending her money, like getting her wiring information straight. She's like taking care of business, literally while we're doing what we're doing. You know what I mean? We didn't even stop. Like what? She's just on the phone doing what she's doing. And I'm just like, okay, you know what I mean? And then when it was over, she was calling dudes back and she's laying next to me and she's talking to him in that street broken English. "Oh, baby, I love you so much, baby. Will you send me another $100 and da-da-da when you come to see me again?" 4, 5, 6 dudes, man. And I was just blown away like, Jesus. And that was my epiphany moment. Because again, this woman was gorgeous. I could have brought her home and everybody would be like, "You the man," and high five and this and that, telling me this. You the man. She was a pro for real in every aspect of it. So if you going down here to these foreign lands, you don't know what you're doing. You have no idea what you are bringing home. Scam, you ever had any situations like that?
No, I was just gonna say, there's a chick that I know that's in DR. She used to work at a hotel over in the sleazy area. I ran into her last trip and I was trying to get her to come on. I told her I'd give her $20 to come and do your shit. She just won't act right. But I was trying to get her because she speaks good enough English. I know she can't get on camera because everybody filming everything and whatever. But a lot of stories and weird fun. Because every time if I would see her, if I go over in that area, like there's a beach there in the daytime. I ain't trying to go over there at night. Daytime, cool. But she's got stories all the time about stuff dumb Americans done did.
I need to get the women on the show, bro.
I know I'm talking about dudes getting jumped by a girl. Say we're gonna do a threesome, and they don't want to pay. The girl straight jump them, pulling out blade, all kind of stuff. It's mainly, just being honest, most of the time the stupidity is the actual dudes. Dudes getting a Dominican woman, instead of just saying, "Look, man, I'm knocking them down. I'm on here for 7 days, whatever." They go get one from the mountains that's probably girlfriend material, bring her there, then run out in the street and do whatever. She's waiting in the lobby. 2 a.m, here he comes bringing one from the street. They get to fighting in the lobby. This stuff happens, but it's usually dudes just doing stupid stuff.
That's crazy as hell. And that story that I told, guys.
A lot of times I'm there. A lot of times I might be there 7 days, 8 days. That's when you see a shift change. That's where you see the weird stuff happen. That's when you see new dudes come in 1, 2 o'clock, fresh from New York, and you see the hustlers scavenge right outside the hotel or the area and start hustling, selling anything, jacking up price. Because I can understand the Spanish and the broken English, so I hear it all. Then I can ask my friend who's Dominican. He's half Dominican, half Colombian. "Hey, what'd they say?" He tell me everything. They don't stop talking just because I'm around or because he's around. But yeah, that's all I got. I hear and I see everything. I ask questions, and it's just the same stupid stuff. repeatedly, and the dudes don't listen. So I'm like,
Is
you
it-
know what? Go ahead and scam them passport bros. Get their money. Get them.
Get their money. I'm with you on that. I'm not mad at any dude who gets pockets ran. And the reason I told that story about the professional, in Aruba, for most of us watch Fresh and Fit on this platform. Most people watch me right now, especially. I don't have a lot of my Suzette Speaks people on here right now. So most of us are Fresh and Fit cats, right? Or at least know who Fresh and Fit is. Myron Gaines talks about that all the time. That analogy he makes, there's always someone getting it for free. This woman, her business was literally selling herself to guys, but there's always somebody getting it for free. So your price might be 50, his price over there might be 500, that guy price over there might be 100, but there's always going to be someone who's getting it for free. And that's the thing. You have to understand this, gentlemen. You know what I mean? You have to understand, if a woman sees what she wants, she's gonna move on that. That's what she wants. She don't want no money, she want you. And that goes for the pros, or that goes for the non-pros. It doesn't matter. The key is this: do you have the social IQ to see it? Do you see her choosing signals? Are you savvy enough to understand where you stand with this woman? Most men are not. That's the key.
That's because they haven't seen it in America. They can't understand it in another country. I worked at ITT Tech in Houston. There was just 2 strippers that went to school. They're students. One of them, everybody drooling all over, drooling. She had a loser boyfriend at home, wouldn't work no job, do nothing, and then had her giving him money because that was the dude she wanted. So why would that be any different in another country?
It's not.
Or why? Women are women. That doesn't change. Attraction's attraction. Dust is dust.
Doesn't change at all, man. So that's what's up, man. I appreciate that, man. I know I got to finish up my video with talking about Rich Cooper and his thoughts on the Manosphere. I want to give y'all the opportunity to get your final thoughts in.
Final thoughts. In all of this, passport, bro, Manosphere, men's, women's, all of this. People are going to be people. They've been people since the beginning of time. Learn how to communicate, learn how to evaluate, keep listening, understand what people are really about. Ain't nothing new. Scams, game. YouTube is an unregulated space. All you have to do is buy this, hook it up. I'm now the president of Venezuela, if y'all believe it. Anything within the YouTube guidelines, and I ain't even read those, but I just know there's words you can't say. Other than that, I can tell y'all anything. And if I say it the way y'all want it and y'all super chat me, it is what it is. That ain't no different than the manosphere, women's sphere, crustosphere, all of it. Women in other countries, it's the same thing. That's all I got.
That's what's up, man. What D-Mac wants to know, before you go, let everybody know where they can find you, bro. And D-Mac wants to know where you normally hang out in DR.
Cabaret Day is cool. I will say this: there's something called Sanky Panky, which means the women are passport chicks looking for the men for the same thing.
Wow.
That you'll see some of that Cabaret Day. Sometimes nomad land in between Puerto Plata. If you're into the sleazy, go to Sosua. Be careful. I only go over there. There's a VA over there, and there's a shirt store. I made my t-shirts. But around nighttime when the funny stuff, don't be over there if that ain't what you're into. But it's Cabaret Day. There's Puerto Plata. I've been to Santo Domingo, the capital. I want to go to Santiago. Still haven't been yet. Fran was supposed to take me. He ended up not going last trip. I've been to Cartagena in Colombia. I've been to Medellin in Colombia. Those are actual big cities. So if you go there, you don't have to be into the extra. They got malls, they got gas stations, everything else. They got a beach. You ain't got to be in all this extra. Just like if you go to Atlanta, it doesn't mean that you're gay or doesn't mean you're in the strip club every night. Same thing. Oh, D-Mac used to live out there. Oh, cool. Yeah, I love that Cabaret Day beach and their food. Love it.
That's it. So where can people find you, bro?
I'll drop it. I'll pull it up. The Scam Likely Show. As much trolling and dust I do, actually on my channel, I really don't troll. It's a lot of conversations that need to be had. Talk about stuff like anger management, leadership, interviews, productive stuff. I might start the trolling later, but the Scam Likely show. I'll be doing more shows soon.
That's what's up. That's what's up. I'm gonna let Mandrell get his final thoughts in.
Appreciate you, BL. Do your thing.
I appreciate you too, bro. I do, man. And I'm coming over. I know you be sending me links, man. I'm gonna get there. Keep sending the links, man. I'm gonna get there. Mandrell, final thoughts, bro.
Yeah, final thoughts, fellas. Situational awareness is one of your top priorities. It's one of the essence of masculinity, situational awareness, because it applies in not only this setting, but it connects to communication as well. Because if you're talking to a woman and you can't tell that she's upset about something and you goof up and say the wrong thing, come on, man. It's a part of the game. Reading people, understanding your surroundings, understanding what's going on in front of you, what the situation calls for. Make sure you don't respond in a different way, in the wrong way. Because as men, we're supposed to respond, not react. There's a difference. You have to make sure your response is appropriate. You know what I'm saying? But situational awareness, fellas, don't fall for a pretty face. You hear it all the time. Don't think just because these people are poor that they're stupid. They're not. They're very intelligent, very, very intuitive. They have had to circumvent poverty their entire life. They have to think of different ways to make shit work. Things that you don't have to think of because you lived your whole life in Disneyland. I don't care how hard your life has been here. It ain't been nothing compared to theirs. They survived and stayed beautiful throughout all of that. So think of how good they are. That game has to be razor sharp at a young age. Where you at? If you're a lame here, you're going to be a lame there. So work on yourself. Like DL keep telling y'all. He keeps telling you got to, fellas, y'all got to have game. And situational awareness is a part of that game. So there you go. Work on yourselves, fellas. Don't stop.
What you just said was fire, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you, man, Joe. That's the best advice I've heard you give in a very long time, brother. A very long time. Thanks for jumping up here and talking and sharing that, man. Hey, damn. They have gone through poverty and had to figure out a way to survive all that and stay beautiful,
and they
bro.
Still look bad throughout all that.
Fine as I don't know what.
Think of how good they are with a DL.
Fine. I mean, that right there. I mean, damn. You go through all that and you still.
You ain't bruised up. You ain't got no broken bones in your face. Nothing. You are drop dead gorgeous throughout all of that. These people are not dumb. They know our culture because we're such in the spotlight. Americans. Yeah. Everyone wants to be American. Nobody wants to be them. So we ignore them.
Everybody wants that US dollar.
Yeah, we're not accustomed to their culture, their language. Americans don't care, but they know all about us. So you guys have to keep that in mind.
Yep. And D Mac, another brother who's traveled the world. What did he say? 200% correct. They ain't dumb.
They ain't dumb.
They ain't dumb.
Contrary to popular belief. Quick. You would get fleeced so quick.
Who are the dum-dums out there, man? The Americans, bro. Hate to tell you. Hate to say it. Hate to be the one to bring it to you. The Americans are the dum-dum. Take your ass down there and see what it is. You know what I mean? You survived Venezuela, Colombia, Brazil. You survived that. Thailand, Laos, Vietnam. You survived that. You still beautiful and you still living. You still making money. Come on, bro. Ain't no Social Security over there. Ain't no EBT. Come on now. You ain't getting none of that. Americans over here, what? I mean, our homeless are fat. Our homeless are obese.
Right. How poor are you if you're homeless and you still fat? I mean, how poor are you for real? I mean,
real talk, man. Our homeless are fat, man. Fat people know how to get money, man. You get money in America, bro. Come on, man. Stop that. Our homeless got a place to live. The only place I've seen worse than America in that sense is in the Middle East, where the billionaires will build. In the Middle East, they build those villages in the middle of nowhere, and no one lives there. They built that for the poor, for the Bedouins or whatever, and they won't even live in it. You know what I mean? But that's Saudi Arabia and America, only places where I saw like it ain't that bad being poor. You know what I mean? It ain't that bad at all, especially America. It's not that bad at all, bro.
Because you're not really as poor as you think you are. You got plenty of opportunities to make money.
Tons, man. So, fellas, I really appreciate y'all coming up here, man. I'm gonna finish up with brother Rich Cooper. There's a guy, and I hope y'all can hang out or watch the rest of the show. But there's a guy who came on to Rich Cooper's podcast. Wants to be a cop. I gotta talk about this dude, bro. I gotta talk about this. Man, when y'all see it, especially you, Mandrill. This dude wants to be a cop, and like Rich Cooper was asking questions that I was thinking, and the guy's answer. It goes to what we're talking about right now. Americans are stupid. I'm just gonna give y'all a little preview. And this dude, and no disrespect to this guy, but he needs to hear it because he's a man. The guy's a dummy. The guy is stupid. I'm just letting you know right now. When you hear what this, I was sitting there like I was screaming at the TV. You ever get something like that? You just start screaming at the TV.
Yeah,
you ain't succeed because you dumb. So thanks for coming up, fellas. I really appreciate y'all.
All right, thanks for having me.
All right, peace out.
Peace. Man, shout out to my brothers, man. Don DeMarco to both of them.
Don DeMarco.
Cody is king. Americans are cheeseburger poor. Colombians are dirt poor. Facts. Facts. Right. Most cops shouldn't be cops. They don't know your rights, let alone any laws. We're about to get into that right now, man. I want to finish up with what Rich Cooper was saying on the Manosphere, and then we're gonna skip ahead to that this one brother that I was just talking about. So tonight we're going a little bit longer. I think these streams are gonna get longer. It is what it is, man. I wanna definitely cover what I wanted to cover instead of just keeping it within 2 hours and then doing it later. So I appreciate y'all hanging out with me, man. And let's get to the end. Let's get to the rest of what Rich Cooper was saying. Remember, when we last talked to Brother Rich, he was talking about how these Manosphere guys were, banging Transformers and paying for it and broke, but saying they're millionaires, but living at home. So let's get back into this.
And let's not forget about the dipshit that was unable to close, or a girl rejected him in a nightclub, and he took the glass that he was drinking his beverage from and smashed it into her face. I could keep going. There's many, many more, guys. The point being is the stuff that the Christian pill guys are criticizing the red pill and the Manosphere for. That's just the tip of the iceberg. And there's a significant PR issue that the Manosphere and the red pill itself deals with today as a consequence of that. Let's talk about Net Promoter Score.
So Rich is about to get into Net Promoter Score it's like a PR thing that companies do. They do a score, they do surveys, and normally if your score comes out in the 80s, like you're doing like excellent. That's the top of the top of the top. These like normally you wind up in like the 50s or 60s, and it was like if you look at that performance score with the Manosphere with the red pill, it's like negative numbers, negative 50, negative 10, 30, -5. He's never seen a positive score, which is horrific. And he kind of goes into that, this is the problem with the Manosphere because people won't recommend it. And the score revolves around, hey, is this product something you would recommend to your family, your friends, your coworkers? That's how this score thing is about. And he's basically saying that the Manosphere scores are just abysmal, right? Abysmal. And that makes sense, man. Bro, there's some bad actors there. There's some good stuff. There's some good men, but there's some bad men as well. And then you got everything in between. That little bit right there when he's saying one of the pickup artists didn't like the fact some girl shot him down in a nightclub, so he hits her in the face with a glass. And I'm pretty sure people are like, well, there's more to that story. I don't care. There's nothing a woman can do to me to get me to hit her in the face with a glass or hit her in the face with anything. And not in America. Unless we're on a battlefield, bro. There's nothing that could get me to assault a woman like that. Nothing. So any guy that does that, that's absolutely a piece of shit. And I don't care. People like, well, they want equal rights, so she got an equal left and all that kind of stuff. Those are the dudes that are suspect to me. You're saying it's cool to go around here and just beat up on women. All right, bro. I don't count them wins, man. Why don't you go out here and beat up on kids too while you at it? I don't count them wins. That's not a win. That's an L. Right? That's a serious loss. But you got those guys in the Manosphere as well. And they just give the entire community a bad name. Say what you want to say about Myron, but he ain't never going to put his hands on a woman. He's just not going to do it. That woman would have to actually physically attack him, and he would do what he has to do to get her, to subdue her and get her to stop what she's doing. He's not just going to go out there and just brutally beat a woman, right? Fresh ain't doing that. You know, they're real men aren't going to do that. I've been in situations where women want to hit on me or whatever. It's fine. What I do, I call the police now. That's what I do now. I call the police. I'm getting her arrested. We got it on film. Y'all film this, man. Lock shorty up. That's what I do now. Shout out to King Drake. Because Drake was like, yeah, man, just go down there, get it, call the police, get her locked up, show up when she's getting arraigned, go to arraignment court, be right there, give an impact statement. Yes, Your Honor, she hit me. She did this to my eye, got all these scratches and whatever. Have a sling on, make it look bad. Man, no bail. Or she gets some ridiculous kind of bail. No OR bail. She's going to have to come up with some money. You know what I mean? I'm going to need a restraining order, Your Honor. No problem. Granted, you get all that right there at arraignment court. That's what you should do as a man, as opposed to just taking it and then trying to holler at her later and smashing her. Nah, bro. Nah, don't hit a woman, but use the same system that they would use against that woman if she hits you, right? I would say that. So I want to fast forward to the dude I was just talking about, man. And man, like when I tell you this dude, I was watching this dude like, what the hell? I was kind of like, man, Taylor is his name. Taylor is his name. So let's listen to Taylor, man, and he calls in to Rich Cooper. He's asking him for some career advice. Let's check this out.
It's all good. Taylor, what's up, buddy?
Morning, Mr. Cooper. How are you?
Good. How you doing?
Not too bad. Had a quick question for you.
Go.
So this question is geared more towards career, and so me personally, I've always been interested in law enforcement, specifically human trafficking. So I've always wanted to be a human trafficking investigator. I've worked really hard at trying to make that a reality, but it doesn't seem to be, not for lack of integrity or background, but just the current climate. So currently right now, I actually have a trucking job. I have my CDL, and the CDL is consistent income. It gets me what I need every single month.
What's a CPL?
A CDL, commercial driver's
commercial driver's license. Okay, so like 18 wheelers.
Yep, 18 wheelers, garbage trucks, anything with wheels on it, and it's a comfortable life. Like I could do this until I drop dead.
And by the way, you know, without guys like you, society doesn't function, right?
Yes,
I don't ever see feminists in that role.
Exactly, you won't. And the basic premise behind the police or law enforcement is that you need a bigger, stronger, tougher man to come handle your problems, right? Yeah. Which is something nearly no feminists will admit to. But so the crux of my question is, I feel the call, my brain, my instincts are telling me to pursue my heart's passion, if you will, law enforcement, human trafficking. Mm-hmm. But as I have a lack of tangible results in that department. Meanwhile, truck driving, CDL work, it gets me what I need to be comfortable. Mm-hmm. So what would you say to that?
How old are you, man?
25.
All right, dude's 25 years old. Shout out to Rich Cooper, man. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. Like Rich, you can call up Rich Cooper, man, and he'll give you the best advice he can for you, man. And, you know, of course, it's just a couple minutes he's talking to you, but I really admire his work and what he's done, man. I've called in on that show, man. He's talked to me, man. I got nothing but respect for Rich Cooper. Taylor, right? I know they say don't judge a book by its cover, but I was moving around the house when this was on, and I had to stop what I was doing to go get close to the TV and look. Let me get a closer look at this dude. I'm looking at Taylor, man. I'm listening to his conversation. You know, he keeps saying, I want to be a human traffic investigator. There is no such animal. They don't exist. Human trafficking is just another element that law enforcement has to deal with. Drug trafficking, human trafficking, you know, robberies, homicides, you know what I mean? Scams, you know what I mean? You got all sorts of things like financial crimes, you know what I mean? You got the big boy felony stuff all the way down to the misdemeanors. This is stuff that law enforcement has to deal with. So my thing is, all right, bro, this has been your dream, your lifelong dream. You want to go after people who are, you know, involved in human trafficking. Okay. Right off rip, that you're thinking I'm thinking I need to be in some sort of federal agency in America. Dudes in American, I need to be in some federal agency, right? Who do I know that used to go after human traffickers as a federal law enforcement official? Myron Gaines. Who did he work for? Homeland Security Investigations, HSI. What is it? Homeland? Yeah, HSI, which is new, like comparative to everything else, the DEA, FBI, you know what I mean? U.S. Marshals, and all of them deal with elements of that, right? So you're like, I want to be a human trafficking investigator, or I want to go after human traffickers, but I want to be a cop. That's not something a beat cop does. So right off the rip, I'm thinking, I don't know if this man has actually sat down and mapped out some sort of route to get there, because he keeps saying human traffic. I want to go after human traffickers. Just like saying I want to be a cop and, all I want to do is go after jaywalkers or something like that. But I only want to go after drunk drivers. Like, dude, you have to go after a lot of bad people. You got to go after people who break the law, good and bad. Some people, good people make mistakes and they do something wrong, do it legal. You got to go deal with them too. Just listening to this guy talk and looking at him just in the camera, I don't know if this dude has the aptitude to be law enforcement, right? That was my first thought. Let's continue.
How long have you been trying to get into that area of law enforcement?
I always wanted to do it as a kid. So 8 years old, I had the desire in me. Start ever since I was 18. Always
When
trying
did you apply to get in?
I have the minimum age requirement is 21. So when I was 18, I was working security. Unarmed, worked my way up to armed security. I figured that would give me a really good springboard. Worked a lot of corrections and prisons. Worked for a sheriff's department. But as I got out of high school, the last 5 years have just been utter nightmare. Like seen total climate change in terms of society, especially their view towards law enforcement.
Mm-hmm.
So I still have the desire in me, but it's not going to feed me, so to speak, right now.
So have you applied to become a cop? Like, have you started there?
So many departments, I can tell you.
And what happened? They're not hiring you because you're not a person of ethnic invisibility or whatever they're calling it now, DEI or whatever it is.
I wish I could tell you. I get all the way up to the interview, so I know my background checks. A lot of departments are defunding. I remember I applied for Border Patrol because that would be a really good segue into human trafficking, that kind of work. And Border Patrol, I don't know what you know about it, but basically they're just bus drivers at this point. Fair.
All right. So y'all know I got nothing but respect for Brother Rich, right? Rich Cooper. Brother Rich, if you happen to see this, man, no shade. I got nothing but respect for you. But like I said, I don't 100% agree with any one human being on anything. So what Rich is saying about law enforcement not wanting to hire you because you're a white dude, right? They don't want to hire you because you're not of color, or you're not female, or you're not a transformer. There's some truth in that. But I don't believe that it's as bad as they say. Now, I could be wrong. You know what I mean? Because I'm a black guy, right? So that part, I'm like, that kind of, you know what I mean? That kind of, that grabbed me the wrong way. I was like, come on, Rich, really? Come on, bro. Like, if I'd have been sitting there like, really, Rich? Because, come on. But this kid, right, the stuff that he's saying, he's kind of like, well, I don't know why they did it. I get all the way up to the interview part, and then it falls apart, right? I get all the way up to this point, and it seems to be the same point that falls apart, right? And we're never going to tell you everything, right? I'm never, people just instinctively, they don't tell you everything. They kind of skip over or whatever, you know what I mean? They don't tell you what you did wrong. Like, well, I don't know why I got hired or didn't get hired, but you think it had something to do with all the cocaine I was doing? You know what I mean? You think it had something to do with the drug test that I kept failing? Or you think it had anything to do with, me committing some big felonies when I was 13 or something? And I'm not saying that that's what this kid is doing, but the thing is this. What I believe is this guy applies, he gets to a certain point, probably the psych eval or some sort of social acuity test, and he fails. That's what I think is going on. I'm here to tell you right now, you want to be in law enforcement, go to LA, go to New York, go to Miami, go to Cincinnati, go to Cleveland. You know what I mean? Go to any mid-size or large city, and you're going to get hired more than likely. at least you're going to get into the academy. They can't get enough law enforcement officials. They can't. They just can't. They are always hiring. There's something going on with this dude. There's something going on with his paperwork. There's something that he is doing that disqualifies him at all these different departments that he's going to. And even the stuff he's saying, like, well, I was going to get in the border patrol and, you know, all right, cool. So I wonder if this kid know, like, 'cause he's like, he was 18 years old, working security jobs. Then he got into armed security. So he's doing whatever paperwork and whatever training they have. Okay, cool. And he's like, that's going to help me out. Bro, you want to chase human traffickers? You want to chase coyotes, bro? You better go to college. You need a 4-year degree or you need 2 years of practical experience. Hell, even I know that. And I ain't never wanted to be in law enforcement, really. I know that. This kid, I'm just looking at him like this guy 20 years ago would have been a perfect candidate for a cop. He's coming from some world where in his world things work a certain way. He'd become a cop and then they would place him in somebody's hood and it would go bad from there. Right? This is one of the things with policing in America. They put the wrong people in the wrong environments. They don't give them an opportunity to succeed. You can't take a kid like this and drop him off in my neighborhood. We had dudes like this all the time in law enforcement. No education, right? They're like, I don't know, football players or wrestlers, and I want to go out here and do whatever. They get into the force and they wind up going to the dark side. They'll wind up going to those bad cops who are teaching them all these bad things in the streets. They're going out there, yeah, we're going to go ahead and bang smash some heads in or whatever they're going to do. You take a dude who ain't never been around hyperviolence and you put him smack dab in the middle of the panic zone, and guess what? It generally doesn't work out well for somebody. For someone. You know what I mean? It generally doesn't work out well. So when I'm listening to this guy, and I ain't gonna lie to you, man, I'm biased. I'm not a big fan of law enforcement, like bad law enforcement, and I'm really leery of anyone who decides to get into law enforcement. And I'm listening to this guy, like he just wants to go after human traffickers. Why? I think he's going in doing pre-interviews and he's saying this. I want to go after human traffickers. Like, what are you talking about? And they kind of, you know, I think he's setting himself up for failure. It's not hard to get a job as a cop, especially in these smaller PDs in municipalities and stuff like that. It ain't hard to get a job as a cop, y'all. Cops don't make a lot of money. You can come out here in Pinellas County somewhere and get hired as a sheriff and be making $20 an hour, right? Or less. It's not hard to get these jobs. What is it that this dude is doing or saying that keeps the cops like, oh, we don't want him? Like I said, 20 years ago, he had been a sure in. But in today's world, they're like, bro, we're gonna have a body camera on this guy. He's gonna mess up. We don't want to send him out there because he's gonna cost us money down the road. They're probably getting something from him, like he's doing something that they don't like.
Illegals over the border and drop them off. So kind of glad I didn't get into that. But I'm just looking at the world around me, and I realized it wasn't envisioned as a child. No shock there. But how do I rationalize between the CDL work, which I can do just fine, it pays the bills, but it doesn't leave me mentally satisfied. I always ask myself, like, what am I'm going to have to answer to myself when I'm old, when I'm dying. Did I do the best I could with my life right now?
Well, that part right there, I'm going to have to answer to myself when I'm old and I'm dying. Did I do the best? He's 25 years old. And he's talking about, you know, when I'm old and I'm facing death, did I do the best I can as a man? Did I live the right? Like, dude, the world I came up in when I was 25 years old, end of life. When I'm old on my deathbed reflecting, are you high? Bro, I was hoping to make it to next week. End of life? Is he serious? That right there tells me he's from a bubble that has nothing. He should not be dealing with law enforcement. No form, no way, shape, or form. This is how you thinking, homie? Like this. When I'm on my deathbed, hell no. Are you saying these things during the interview process? Because if I'm one of the people sitting across from the desk from you and you say some silly shit like that, yeah, I'm using a red pen. I'm going to put that red line through your name right now. Okay. Interview's over, man. Thank you very much for your time, Mr. Taylor. You know what I mean? Great seeing you. Yeah, we'll be in touch, bro. Don't call us. We'll call you. You know what I mean? That's crazy. Brother Smeebles, like most people in the world, they don't plan for what they want and run around in circles. Facts. Facts. Law enforcement. Dude, that's a quick Google search, man. If you want to be a Fed, if you want to get into federal law enforcement in America, I believe, and it could change. Y'all could check my math on this. I believe all you need is a 4-year degree. 4-year degree, and you can apply for any agency you want, or 2 years of practical experience, which means you're in law enforcement on the streets as a cop for 2 years. I think it's 2 years, and then you can apply. I think that's what it is. I looked into this back in 1996. I don't think it's changed that much. Brother Dino is like, DL, have you watched that film, Sound of Freedom? Not yet. It's on Prime. I'm gonna have to check that out finally. MAGA Film of the Year. I bet you it is. That movie was a dumb premise. Some people took their children to some strangers and left their children with strangers, and the strangers took their children. That's the premise of the movie. Come on now. I'm gonna watch it, but I'm not expecting much. And that was for Scam Likely. D-Mac and Scam likely might bump into each other in the DR somewhere or Columbia or something. Brother Mandrell is like, yeah, that's a good question. You know what I mean? He's doing something wrong. Exactly. And Rich Cooper's gonna ask the most natural question that you would ask in this situation. You're gonna see it here in a minute, bro. I'm not gonna spoil it for you. Brother Dino, the average police officer salary in New York is $104,562. I think that is including all kind of differential pays and stuff like that, overtime, shift work. Like, sometimes you get paid for working at night, doing whatever, pulling double shifts and stuff like that. I would say that the base pay is way less than that. It's kind of like in air traffic control. They would say, oh, the average salary of an air traffic controller right now is probably $250,000. But what it is they're just doing the math. There's this many air traffic controllers. Here their salaries. We added it all up, divided it by this, and here's the average salary. The median salary will be way less. And air traffic controllers go through this all the time because we do get differential pays and stuff like that. So your base salary might be $50,000, but you can guarantee once you finish training and all that, and you start working, like shift work and stuff like that, you get differential pays and training people and all this other kind of stuff. You can add 15% to that off rip. So whatever you make, add 15%. That's pretty much what you're going to be making, more or less. Same thing with law enforcement. So $104,562, that sounds like a lot. But I think that includes a lot of differential pays and stuff like that. I bet you the average base salary for a police officer in New York City, I would say that the average is the base salary probably $60,000, somewhere between $60,000 and $70,000 base. That's just me guessing. But you could probably look that up somewhere. So let's continue.
Here's the interesting thing about that is as you get older, your opinions and your interests will evolve and change. So what you like today and what you want to do today in your early 20s won't be the same in your 30s, 40s, and 50s. I can tell you that from experience. So there's that. The problem with law enforcement today, as you've experienced, is first of all, you're not respected and regarded anymore by society and culture. You're hated. Right? If you wear a badge and you carry a gun, it's law enforcement, serve, protect. Even in trafficking realms like outside of conventional law enforcement, you're generally not admired and or respected by society and culture today. I had, after the whole George Floyd thing, I had a panel of cops on one of my podcasts. I can't remember which episode it was, but you can search both of my channels and find it on one of them for sure. And the overwhelming consensus from all of them was they were either going to wait for the retirement.
Y'all see dude cracking his neck and all that and being nervous. I get a lot of that. Like, he's on camera. He understands a lot of people are watching. This is going to get thousands and thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of views. But I ain't gonna lie to you, man. There's something about this kid Taylor that I don't know, man. It's like my ghetto sense is tingling. My ghetto sense is tingling, bro. I'm like, I don't know about this, bro. I don't know, man. Like, I don't know.
Retirement pension, which was a few years down the road, or they were going to exit law enforcement, and they didn't encourage young straight white males to enter into law enforcement just because it's so hostile towards them. Paperwork, every time you do anything, everybody's filming you. They make up shit. They provoke you. They taunt you. It's just not a good career to get into. So there's that. And then you're also finding probably that they're not hired. Like, how many times have you applied? You said border patrol, you said police. Like, how many different law enforcement branches did you apply in?
At a minimum, I'm 25, so I started when I was 21. A minimum 15 in 5 years.
So 15 in 5 years, and none of them took you on.
I've had one success out of 15 attempts.
And what was the one for?
Sheriff's Department down here.
And
Yeah.
why don't you?
Okay. So here is the victim mentality from the male perspective. In this case, it happens to be a white male. Charlemagne is good at being the victim when it comes to racist stuff. You know, like he's always playing a race card. So is that as well. The chat is right. Brother Smee was there. It is right there. That makes sense to me right there, especially New York. New York PD starting salary $58,580. After 5.5 years, $121,000. Yeah, that makes sense to me. That looks more reasonable. And it's hard to get to that 5-year point. You know, New York's that's a tough city to police with all the new rules, especially. What Rich was talking about, where, you know, talking to old school cops and they're saying, hey man, this isn't the field I want to be in. There's too many restrictions coming down the pipe. They're changing things a lot. I get where he's coming from. That's why I'm not an air traffic controller anymore. I saw the writing on the wall. I saw who was coming in. I was looking at how the training was being conducted. Right. I'm watching what the union and what management is doing, working together behind the scenes, trying to make things happen. The shit wasn't right. I had enough of it. Right. Plus what was going on in my private life. I was like, this is just too much. This is just too much. I have to go to work and be on point. You know, later in my career, I could do it, but it's like, man, I really got to be on point, because the controllers to my left and right aren't as good as the controllers were when I came up. So everyone's relying on me and controllers like me to keep everything safe. It's like, bro, I can't watch everything at once. I can't be everywhere at the same time. I'm over here putting out this fire and this fire. Meanwhile, this fire over here is about to ignite the gas tank, sort of thing. So I was like, all right, I'm done. I can't do this. I can't handle it. I can see cops saying that, right? Because now we have technology, right? Body cameras mandated. Now you can see how dirty some of these cops are. And I want to be clear when I say this. I don't believe that all cops are dirty. In fact, I believe it's a very small minority of true dirty cops. And I think that number is getting smaller and smaller. But that minority of dirty cops, right, that was the one bad apple that spoiled the whole bunch. Those guys wielded a lot of power. What they were doing was horrible. You can talk to any American who's ever had to deal with the police, anybody from the hood or anybody from the trailer park or anybody from the barrio, whatever. They'll tell you there are legendary bad cops in every city. In Cincinnati, it was RoboCop, right? Anybody from my area, as soon as I said that, they were like, yup, it's RoboCop. We talk about dude to this day. I ain't even in Cincinnati. I ain't been in Cincinnati 20 plus years. We still talk about RoboCop, right? Y'all saw the movie Colors. It was Pac-Man. There was always some cops like that. They abuse the system, they abuse their authority and get you locked up for shit you didn't do. What do they say over in the UK? They'll stitch you up. I don't know how they say it over in Smee was, I don't know how y'all say it over there in Australia, but they will set your ass up, bro, and send you away. And they work hand in hand with bad prosecutors. Prosecutors, they will work the law system in such a way that you get locked up and you're gonna have to take a deal or be facing life in prison for something you didn't do. Those people, those bad people, are the minority. I'll acknowledge that. But it doesn't change the fact that they have made it bad for everyone who wears the badge, the shield, whatever, the boys and girls in blue, whatever. And the fact that cops back then would protect these bad cops. So now you got these older cops saying they're leaving. A lot of those cops are the bad cops. Like, let me get the hell out of here before they catch me. They're going to lock me up. I got to get out of here. I got to go. Right? Because, body camera footage, everything. America ain't playing. They locking cops up. When what's his face got locked up over the George Floyd thing, that changed it. There's video footage out there where you can see a law enforcement officer pull out his weapon and fire and delete an innocent man running away, shot him in the back. There's video out there. That cop never did a day in prison. That cop didn't get charged for them. The feds had to come in and get him on civil rights violations. Right now, those days are starting to go. Right, that they're starting to get rid of those people. You feel me? That's what's going on now in today's world. The policing culture has changed, but Rich is right. If the police show up, there's always guaranteed going to be someone there who doesn't want to see the police. That's just how it is. That's a tough gig. That's why I believe law enforcement should get paid more. The number that their brother Dino gave us, I wish that were true. I wish the average cop was making $100,000+ a year to start. They should be, in my opinion. All bullshit aside, cops should be paying. Every cop in America should be making a minimum of $100,000 a year starting. But the training should be rigorous. It should be very difficult to do. It should be hard to be a cop. You want the best and brightest. This kid right here, Taylor, is not the best nor brightest. And I think we all can agree. We cannot just listen to this dude talk. I think we can all agree. And the fact that he's about to tell you how he was a sheriff somewhere in Texas. This dude was part of a sheriff department somewhere in Texas. Well, what happened, homie? Your dream is to chase bad guys on the border. You're in Texas, a border state. You're a sheriff. What happened, homie? We're about to find out what happened. You know what I mean? About to look into it, bro. But this dude right here, definitely red flags. Right. And Smee was like, yeah, that's some definite red flags about him not getting a job. He got a job. He had a job as a sheriff in Texas. Like I said, it's not that hard to get into law enforcement, bro. 15 attempts, but he did finally get in. That to me is a red flag, bro. It's not that hard to get a job. You know what I mean? So it stitched you up is used there too. Okay, cool. Yeah, I know that's how they say it over in UK, man. Now the cops, he stitched me up, mate. You know what I mean? So it's like the same thing over in over here. They set me up, bro. You know what I'm saying? You being railroaded. You know what I mean? He set me up. It's a setup, homie. Like that's how we say it, brother Cody. I don't think being dirty is the main problem law enforcement has. Literally, they do not know basic rights that they are supposed to obey and defend, and are just as ignorant to the laws that they make up or try to enforce. You're right, bro. And that's poor training. That's poor training. And you know what? The society is forced to use these people come from the bottom of the barrel, like this dude Taylor. Taylor couldn't get hired in an environment where cops don't even know their job. Think about that. He tried 15 times and he managed to get on with one department, sheriff department, and he's going to tell us what happened. Like he like, bro, you wanted to be in law enforcement. You're in law enforcement. You're a sheriff. What happened? So let's listen.
Take it.
Oh, I did. I worked it for about 6 months, and
Okay.
it's a small town sheriff's department. They don't have the kind of investigation roles that
Okay.
I'm talking about.
What did you do there?
I was working in a jail. That was it.
Okay. So were you a police officer, like patrol, like
No.
squad car stuff?
So no, you're just you're basically the
guard.
redheaded stepbrother. You know, they leave you in the prison. You handle. They bring people to you off the street. You handle the people on the street. You get them out.
You don't look.
I guarantee you, and I'm willing to bet $1 to a donut here. I guarantee you that yes, he was a sheriff. Yes, he was starting in the prisons, but you start in the jails. You start there. Normally they tell you got to work here for a year, 2 years, whatever it is, 3 years, and then they put you on the street. That's how they do it in California. LA County sheriffs, whenever you get hired by them, you start in their prison system, and then they transition you to the streets. I'm willing to bet anything that is the case here with this dude. He didn't want to put in the work. I don't want to deal with prisoners. I want to go chase coyotes. I want to deal with human traffickers. Well, in order to get there, Bubba, you got to start here. Right? You want to be a jet pilot? We don't just put you in a F-18, right? You're going to start in a Cessna or a Piper Cub, really. They're going to start you in a Piper Cub or a Cessna. You're going to work your way up to a jet. We're not going to hire you as a sheriff and then put you on the street. You don't know nothing. You 20-something years old. You don't know nothing. We don't even want to put you in the jails. We giving you this opportunity, bro. We shouldn't be hiring you. And he left. He did not want to do the work. I'm willing to bet anything that all he had to do was stick it out for a year or two and he would have been on the streets. He'd have been on the streets. Hey, Miss AKA ladies in the building. What's good, sis? Girl, you done missed Mandrill and Scam Likely. Both of them came up. I had dropped the link. We was up here talking some good stuff about traveling and being safe, girl. Good to see you. I hope you are well. The comedy shows are doing good, girl. We got 1 month under our belt. I'll be in Orlando this summer. I haven't locked in the date yet, but it's going to be on a Monday night. I'm going to host a show out there. One of the comics invited me to come. I told him I can't come until the summertime, so I'll let you know when I come out there. Not even sure where the location is, but it is in Orlando. That's what I was told. I think it's Orlando proper. I don't think it's even the suburbs, but I'll keep you posted. Good to see you. Good to see you. I'm so glad you're here. So, you know what I mean? This is how normally the sheriff's departments work. They put you in the jails first. You do basically your probation period or whatever it is in the jails. You work your way out of the jails. They put you on the street. This is how it works. Right? And again, if his goal is to chase coyotes, I want to go out here and chase human traffickers. If that is your goal and you don't want to go to college, I ain't mad at you. You don't want to pay for a law enforcement degree in college, I ain't mad at you. Get your 2 years of 2 to 5 years of practical experience. We're at the sheriff's department somewhere in Texas. Bro, you're on your way. Work your way up through the jails, do your time in the jails, hit the streets, make sure you keep your record clean, make sure you're getting everything you need, checking all the boxes, and then apply for, Homeland Security, right? Or apply for DEA. You won't be chasing coyote. The dude he's so specific with what he wants to do. Like, I guess the FBI, you can apply for the FBI, but they're probably not going to take you. They're taking dudes out of Ivy League schools. You could Border Patrol, you can apply with Border Patrol and kind of do Border Patrol investigations, will probably be his best bet. But he hasn't thought this stuff through. The guy was working as a sheriff in an American town in Texas, and he stopped. Why? Because he didn't like it. I want to chase coyotes. Well, what you're going to do now is you're going to make sure that these dudes ain't shanking each other in jail. You're going to make sure that these dudes are paying attention. You're going to do the paperwork before you get on the streets. He didn't want to work for it, y'all. He did not want to work for it. And that's the thing. So many people today, man, cheat code. What we've been talking about all night, man. Cheat codes, bro. Cheat codes. I want. I don't want to work for it. I want to be quarterback for the Cincinnati Bengals, but I don't want to play football. I'm just ready. I don't want to play high school ball. I don't want to go to college. I'm just ready. I want to go straight to the pros. Have you bumped your head, my friend? That is not how it works. I want. I want a G-Wagon. You know what I mean? I want a Ferrari. I want a Lamborghini like Fresh. But I don't want to do all the work Fresh did to get there. I don't want to move to a foreign country. I don't want to start from the bottom and work my way up. I don't want to learn how to network. I don't want to learn how to put my money away and build up my credit. I just want the G-Wagon. I just want the Lambo. I want. Ladies and gentlemen, mostly gentlemen, boys and girls, it don't work that way. Sorry, I have to be the one to tell you. Old Uncle Saint got to tell you the truth, right? There are winners and losers, right? And I'm sorry, Mr. Taylor, based on what he's told us here, he falls into the loser category. Bro, you were there. You were on your way. You wanted to be in law enforcement. You wanted to chase human traffickers. You managed to get yourself on with the sheriff department, and you quit because you didn't like the process. Now, Rich is being nice to the guy. I would have lit his ass up. And Rich is going to ask a question here. And I hope Mandrell is still in the chat. Rich is going to ask a question here coming up. And I can't wait for y'all to hear this question.
Look fat. You look like you're pretty fit. How tall are you?
I'm 5'8".
5'8". You're strong. You're a strong guy. Like you can pick up heavy shit, carry it.
Yep.
So you would be useful to law enforcement. It's strange to me that they won't hire you. And I'm guessing probably because you're a straight white male, for being honest.
That's the part I don't like, Brother Rich. It's not because he's a straight white male. It's because he is a dumb fuck. All right? That's what we called him in our unit. Don't come over here being a dumb. He's a stupid fuck. That's what's wrong with him. Come on now, Rich. It's not because he's white. Of course, there's going to be a part of that. There's going to be some of that in there, bro. Just like I'm going to have trouble moving around in today's world because I'm a black man. Yes, there are people out there going to have trouble moving around in America's world being white or, being Asian. You know what I mean? It's hard to get accepted in college if you're Asian because they're like, you too smart. You work too hard to get. We can't let you in there. We got too many Asians in here. That's got to suck. That has to suck to some young kid in some poor neighborhood somewhere who's trying to lift his family out of poverty. I can't get into Brown because I'm too fucking smart. Well, you're Asian. If you were black, you'd be a sure-in. Not only would you be in, but it'd be a full scholarship. That's horrible. That's American racism. That's how shit works, man. It sucks. This dude is not a cop because he's white and they don't want to hire a white boy. This dude is not a cop because he quit. He didn't want to be a sheriff. He didn't want to go through the process. That's what this is.
They recommend that after you get done with interviews, you email in and you ask, hey, is there anything I could have improved in the past? And
Yeah.
I do so, and I get silence with crickets chirping.
I bet you'd have more luck if you applied as, just pick a female name, change your name from Taylor to Tanya or something like that. Put on a wig and say that you're trans, and I bet they probably hire you sooner than, as a Taylor. But, that's the world that we live in today. So look, man, here's the other thing too, is that one of the things you have to do as a guy is you have to be able to pivot and adapt, right? People always ask me about business and entrepreneurship, and in my school of entrepreneurship, one of the things I talk about throughout is you have to be a very good problem solver. So this is a problem that you're dealing with. What is it that you can do now to remedy your own problem that you're dealing with, right? Because you've got a calling, you've got a desire for this. Is this something you can do in another country? Is there a federal agency that you can apply to? Is there a state agency that you haven't tried at? Like, if it's what you really, really want to do, first of all, understand most people aren't going to like you, generally speaking. And secondly, you're going to have a hard time getting in because you're not the kind of guy that they're looking to hire. They're looking to hire the other guy, right? So is that something that you want to keep pursuing? Do you want to look into something else? Do you have any other interests? Do you have any other passions that you can monetize, that you can turn into a business or get into?
I do. I know that pretty much majority of my childhood years, I was fixated on that. So that was my structure. Again, I've always had the framework of I don't regret minimization, if you will. I know that one day I'm going to be old, sitting in, looking at the end of my life, and I've asked myself, what can I tell myself that I did that would, ease the panic I'm going to feel when I'm getting ready to let go of this life.
Yeah.
And I don't see.
What kind of bullshit is that, man? He's worried about the end of his life. What Rich just told him is not what he wanted to hear. Now, again, there is some truth to what Rich is saying. Like, you're not what they might think is the ideal candidate, based on your race. You know what I mean? But I don't think that's what it is. Again, he had a spot. And Brother Pitney, he hit it right here, man. Resigning from one of the law enforcement agencies will likely blacklist you from future opportunities. Other agencies and can likely see that you quit and are unwilling to pour resources into training you. That, my friend, is spot on. I bet you it has something to do with it. And Brother Smith was just right, man. He had to go through the same old stuff just to get where he's going. It's not easy to get to the top. If it were easy to get to the top, everybody would be at the top. It's hard. You got to go through the bullshit, man. You got to go through the bullshit, bro. This Taylor thing really made me mad because it's one of those. From my point of view, I'm like, you already a white guy in America. You're already a white dude in America, man. Do you know what kind of leg up that is? Like, think about that. You're already a white dude in America, even though they're starting to crack down and it is getting harder. And like they say, they're coming after, the straight white male or whatever. It's still better than coming out of my neighborhood trying to get there, bro. It's still a leg up. And I'm not trying to make this a racial thing. My thing is quit sounding like a victim, bro. I could have sounded just like this kid Taylor and never would have left Cincinnati, Ohio. Never would have joined the United States military. Never would have done any things I've done in my life. I could have just sat there in the barbershop complaining with everybody else in the barbershop, not doing anything with my life. Out here selling a little bit of weed to make the ends meet or whatever. I could have did that, but I didn't. I took the hard road, bro. I pushed forward. And I went out there and I got some shit. You know what I mean? It just really makes me mad. Cody, you're right, man. You know what I mean? Dude is coming off as a weak weirdo, man. Real talk. Real talk. You know what I mean? Short, baby face, like you're 5'8", which is the average height for most dudes. Right? And something happened. Like who snatched up someone stole a family member or a cat or something. Why is it just I gotta be a human, I gotta go after human traffickers? Like, what happened to you, homie? Like, what happened to you? I don't think this is a good candidate for law enforcement. You know what I mean? Miss AKA lady was like, yeah, regret. Minimalization is a real thing. Live your life in a way you won't have a ton of regrets. And sometimes, living like Rich said, sometimes you gotta let go of the dream, bro. Let go of the dream if you can't make it happen. But he got hired as a sheriff. We can't forget that point, bro. That's important. You got hired as a sheriff in Texas and you quit.
See how, for example, bagging groceries at Walmart or driving a truck is gonna. If I tell myself, yeah, you drove those trucks, you got those million miles on you. I don't see how that's
You
gonna.
move that freight so well, better than the
Yeah,
other guys. Right?
exactly. Paid by the load.
What about
Hold on real quick, man. Being a truck driver in America, bro, you can make a ton of money, man. You can make a ton of money, man. He could go out here and make hundreds of thousands of dollars a year, depending on how hard he want to go, how hard you want to push that. Right? It's still an opportunity to make some money. You know what I mean? The autonomous trucks haven't hit the road yet. Until that happens, dude, there's money to be made. Truck drivers are still making money. They're in demand, bro. So again, what do you put? Man, let's continue.
moving somewhere else? Have you tried other states?
Oh, I have. I'm in the most conservative state I could find, which was Texas.
Mm-hmm.
So you would think that I would have better luck.
Have you tried other states, Florida, like other conservative states?
I haven't. Actually, I have, but not to the extent I could. I could try.
Yeah, well, there's
more
that too, right?
general stab battery.
Damn the other conservative states, man. Go to California, bro. Go to the big cities. I don't care if it's liberal or conservative. Go to the big cities. Go to San Diego. Go to San Francisco. Go to LA. Right? Go to Orange County. Go to Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Tampa, Orlando, Dallas, Houston, Atlanta, hell, Cincinnati, Dayton, right? Detroit. Just go. DC. They are looking for qualified applicants, bro. I bet you he didn't hit none of them up in his 15 searches. And again, he was hired as a sheriff and he quit.
Yeah. That's a tough one because you want to get into a space that doesn't value you and won't respect you publicly to solve a problem that is a real problem. That again, nobody's going to clap when you solve that problem. Like nobody's going to applaud you for doing that, right? It's only you patting yourself on the back and maybe the department. So, if you really want it that bad, it's like, how bad do you want it? Because if you want it that bad, you're going to find a way to make it happen, or you're going to find an excuse as to why it didn't happen, right? So, if you want it that bad, take a look at other states. Take a look at federal agencies. Make sure your resume is tight and it's got everything that they're looking for. Make sure your background check is clean and clear. And just keep leaning into it, man. You're still young, so there's still a strong potential for them to look.
At this point, Rich realized this dude was full of shit. And at this point, he was like, oh, this guy ain't trying to work. This guy ain't trying to do this for real. I had a football coach in high school, man, our freshman year and our junior year, man. You know what I mean? Coach Green, Bo Green. And he was like, man, his thing was we be out there, he would say to us, man, you don't want to play no ball. You don't want to play no ball. You ain't trying to do this. You don't want to play no ball. That was his thing. You could tell after a certain point, man, y'all just talking. You don't want to play no ball. If you really want to play some ball, then you go out here and do 2 more laps. You know what I mean? You want to play some ball, you'll go out here and do 2 more sets of suicides, right? You do 15 more minutes on the fence. If you really want to play some ball, you'll run 10 more routes. You know what I mean? If you really want to play some ball, you get out here and do 100 more push-ups. That was Bo Green. You don't want to play no ball. This kid right here, he don't want to play no ball. He don't want to be no cop, man. He out here, he talking bullshit, bro. And Rich, at this point, I believe Rich Cooper just realized, like, man, this dude ain't really trying to do nothing. He ain't trying to do nothing. But continue. There's still up. The part I've been talking about ain't came up yet, man. Y'all got to hear this part when Rich asked him this one question coming up, and I'm gonna really go in.
Look at you in that space. What about military branches, man? Have you looked at that?
I have. I know that you're a Canadian, right?
Yeah.
So you're not particularly versed in American military politics, but it's obscene. They have transgenders and lesbians as their marketing technique for the military. Everyone I've spoken to who's been in the military has told me, run away as fast as you can, don't join.
Yeah, well, that's what the cops.
That's 100% bullshit. That's 100% bullshit. And that's when I lost it. That's when I started throwing stuff at the TV. That's when I lost it. That's when I lost it. The reason he's not in the military is because he can't pass the fucking ASVAB. That's the reason he's not in. He's too fucking stupid. Taylor, if you're watching this, don't you ever talk about the United States military again. You fucking piece of shit. lesbians. You don't know about American military politics. I would call you a leg, but that's just me being mean to real legs. You worse than that. You piece of shit. Of course you should join the military. Score high on the ASVAB. You'll be an MP. You can get into an MP unit. Simple as that. You talking about it's full of lesbians and whatever. That's who you're competing against. Cool, because it's all based on test scores in the United States military, United States Army anyway. You can get into law enforcement in the Army, Navy, Air Force, Marine Corps, and probably in Space Force. I hate it when these young people start talking shit about the United States military. I hate that. Bro, if I'd have been in the back chat when they was doing this live, I would have went crazy. I'd have went crazy. Like, Rich, please bring me up. Tell this little boy to go home to his mama. He ain't ready for the real world. You absolutely would join the military. You absolutely would. I'm going to be an MP with a CID option on there. The recruiter will absolutely hook you up. If you could pass the ASVAB, you stupid fuck. You want to do this, you want an opportunity to get in law enforcement, you know you need to get in law enforcement at the federal level, you don't want to go to college, and you telling me you're not going to join the military? What friends did you talk to? What friends? That's what happens when you talk to legs, y'all. Don't talk to legs. Don't talk to them. Don't talk to people who was in the Army, National Guard, or whatever. I give them credit for serving, but come on, man. You're in the reserves of the Guard, man. That ain't, Join the military and get hood. You join the military and you get you a 9-to-5 job somewhere. That's great. You made a good career decision, but I was airborne, bro. Get yourself into a line unit. You want to get out there and see what it's like in the real world, man? Get some, bro. Y'all heard Mandrell. Y'all heard the stuff he had to go through to be a Green Beret. He earned that beret. Come on, man. This dude right here, this is the victim mentality that has stifled America, is strangling America. These young kids, I want to do this, make it happen. There's no such thing as just a human trafficker investigator. That's not a thing, bro. It's law enforcement. That's just one aspect of law enforcement that they do. That's a bad guy that they got to go catch. They also got to catch counterfeiters. They also got to catch kidnappers. Well, I guess they say that's human trafficking, right? Is, when they cross state lines and international lines, right? They also got to catch, abusers. They got to catch bank robbers. They got to catch, the flim flam man. They got to catch, doctors who've been malpracticing. They got to catch lawyers who've been lying in court. That's all part of law enforcement, man. This kid right here doesn't have what it takes, period. He was hired by a law enforcement agency. This dude is absolutely a loser, bro. I mean, he should just stick to driving trucks and he'll do all right. Right? Cody, you're right, man. Dude could have got hired in LA or Seattle if he can pass the process. But they have a really good process to weed out these type of dudes. You already know, like, man, this guy's not gonna make it. Why are we even wasting our time? Why invest money in this guy? He's not gonna make it. We don't want to put him on the street. He's not smart enough. Like, dude should just go out here, drive his truck, and make his money. That's all he has to do. It's big money out there. Yeah, I mean, and even in Texas, even if they require you to speak Spanish, it's not hard to learn. It's not hard to learn Spanish in Texas. If that's what it takes. I wanted to be a paratrooper, bro. I'd have did anything to be a paratrooper. If I'd have had to go through Ranger training or Green Beret training to be airborne, I would have done it. There's nothing that was going to stop me from getting my wings. That's what I wanted to do. That's what I wanted to do. But Casual Jones, you're right, man. Dude is a loser. He's full of excuses, man. He don't want to play no ball. That's what Coach Green used to tell us. Dude don't want to play no ball. He ain't trying to do nothing. Sitting there, woe is me. All I want to do is chase coyotes. I want to be a human trafficker investigator. That's not a thing, bro. That means you got to get into law enforcement. Are you going to go to college? I don't want to go to college. You don't join the military? I don't want to go in the military. They told me it was full of you're from Canada. You don't understand U.S. military politics. Well, tell her you don't either. The hell you talking about, bro? I bet you he took the ASVAB and failed. That's what I think happened to him. And tell her if you're watching this, go take the fucking ASVAB. You ain't got any list. Just take it. Just show me that you could pass it. I'm sorry, bro. Just go drive your fucking truck. Right? Just go like most of the Americans out here, man. Go drive your truck from coast to coast, right? Safe in your nice little Afghan of freedom provided to you by those gay and lesbian people you said they're in the military, man. Who are your friends? Who are these dudes that told you this about the United States? I think he said military. So we know he's talking about the Army or the Marine Corps. He's probably talking about the Army. Yeah, he look at Mr. K. Like he should consider the Space Force. He should. I'm sure they got law enforcement. I lost it. I blew my top at that point in real life. In real time, when I saw that, I blew my top. Dude isn't good enough to make it to the United States military, bro. That's what it boils down to. He wasn't good enough to get on with that sheriff department wherever they was in bumfuck Texas to get him the job. And he didn't even realize that they were doing his dumb ass a favor. This is why I don't like stupid fucks. This is why I don't like them. I don't like victim mentality. I don't like them. Rich figured it out during this conversation. Rich and he's like, man, this kid ain't trying to do shit. That's not somebody Rich Cooper would hire to work on one of his projects. Like, this kid ain't trying to do shit, man. You were a sheriff and you quit because you didn't like the process. Get the hell out. Brother Smith was just saying, I think he is lying as he looks like a deer in the headlights and face seems all red and blushy. Yeah, he's lying. He failed the ASVAB. He couldn't get into the military. Military said no. It's probably the first thing he did. I want to get into law enforcement. Hey, man, join the military, man. Join the Army and Marine Corps, man. They got law enforcement in there. Probably couldn't pass the ASVAB. You know, casual German Marine active duty infantry was the best decision of my life. Facts, man. Shout out to you, man. A Marine? That's what I'm talking about, baby. We talk about you all the time, casual German. We talk about you all the time. Wrong button. Shout out to man, I'm gonna have to fix this. I got nothing but the highest respect for Marines, airmen, sailors, soldiers. I don't know what the Space Force do. Space cadets, you know what I mean? But anyone who toes the line, raise their right hand and swears to protect the Constitution against all enemies, foreign and domestic, anyone who's willing to put their life on the line for this country, I got nothing but the highest respect for it. And for anyone out there who's never served and started talking shit about the military, man, I got nothing for you. I got nothing for that guy. He's a quitter. We don't want quitters. He don't want to do nothing. Yeah, Miss AK, I hit the wrong. I've been hitting the wrong button, girl. Tonight was a rough night for me on these buttons, man. I don't understand. Casual Germ. This is for you and all your brother and sister Marines out there.
Pray! This is my rifle. There are many like it, but this one is mine.
And those Marines know what I'm talking about, man. Shout out to Full Metal Jacket, bro. It's just something about serving, man. It just, for me, it was the best thing I ever did with my life, man. It really set me on the right path. Yeah, I could have died. Yeah, it went with it. But I got there. I did it. I did what I had to do, man. It got me where I needed to be. This dude wants to be in law enforcement, and he's crying about everything. I can't get past the fact that they gave him an opportunity. They gave him a slot, and he quit. Fuck this dude. Real talk. Real talk, man. So mad. So mad. So upset. Because so many Americans like him today. That's the problem with America, in my opinion, right now. People like Taylor. That's the problem. Mommy said I'm special. Everyone gets surprised. No, they don't, Taylor. You want to be a top G, you got to do the work, homie. Some people gave you an opportunity, and they know they shouldn't have. Whoever that person was in Texas at the sheriff department that gave you a job, they know they shouldn't have given you that opportunity. They gave you an opportunity and you threw it in their face. You ungrateful piece of shit. Do I feel sorry for you? No. And the Manosphere is full of a lot of dudes like Taylor. This is what I'm talking about. It's full of a lot of dudes like that. That's why it's so difficult to maneuver. But there are guys in the Manosphere who are truly trying to do better. They're trying to level up. I guesstimate, I make this number up, but I would say 20 to 25% of the guys in the Manosphere are actually doing the work. They're actually trying to better themselves. They're actually getting results. Those are the guys that I look for. Those are the guys that I like to talk to. Those are the men that I want to work with. Those guys right there. I'll bend over backwards for those men. But people like Taylor, you know what I mean? People like Taylor, bro, he can go home to mommy. He can go home and get back on that tick because that's where he wants to be. Brother Smeebles, press the like button. 14 watching, only 10 likes. Yeah, please hit that like button. Yeah, I appreciate that. 14 watching, man. We're slowly getting more people watching. That's AKA lady. It's terrible to crap on an opportunity when someone vouched for you. Way to burn a bridge. Somebody felt sorry for his dumb ass that gave him an opportunity, man, and then he just shit all over him. So I wanted to end with that, man. Y'all know I try to keep it positive. I try to keep it 100. I rarely go in, but Rich Cooper asked a natural question, man. Hey, you think about the military? Oh, well, you don't understand American military politics. What? No. Nah, Taylor. You don't understand what it takes to be successful, Mr. Stupid Fuck. That's what it is. You speaking on shit you just don't know. Join the army and you'll see. You can be all you can be. Even Private Benjamin joined the damn army. It's a TV show y'all called Private Benjamin back in the day. It's hilarious. You should check it out. You know what I mean? It's just, that just made me so mad, y'all. We're going to end on that. We're going to end on that. But there's so many dudes out there, man. This guy got the opportunity of a lifetime to do what he wanted to do since he was a kid. And he just blew it all up. And he's sitting there as, oh, but Rich, I mean, when I'm on my deathbed, when I'm old and I'm looking over my life, I just want to be able to say that I did everything. Shut the fuck up. Just shut up. You know what I mean? You wasted Rich Cooper's time. He chose you, man. There's probably someone else in the back chat that he could have helped. He was wasting his time on your dumb ass. Rich asked a few questions and realized, oh, yeah, man, you ain't trying to do nothing. You trying to be a cop, you applied to 15 places. Oh, you got a position as a sheriff and then you quit? That was it. I know Rich was like, oh, man, I'm just wasting my time with this dumbass. So many people like this guy. I serve with guys like that. They just lost and they need to be found. They need guidance. Some of them we were able to help. Some of them we weren't. It is what it is. 1/34 is in the building. What's good, fam? Good to see you. We're wrapping up, man. Y'all know I don't normally go this long, man. We over 3.5 hours. I don't normally go this long. Exactly. All that, all that philosophical talk was just talk, man. Let me just say the right things and da 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 da. You know, like Rich said, it's good content. He put it up there. It's great content. You get someone like me who gets to react to it. I wish I was in the back chat. I was like, Rich, man, please pull me up. Let me talk to this, pull me up. And I'm about to get this, I'm about to get this stream demonetized. Yeah, next time Rich does, like Moth is on right now, but next time Rich goes live, I'm gonna go in there. I'm gonna bring it up. Like, hey, man, yeah, the guy was talking about American military politics. Man, I don't know what the hell he's talking about. Because when Rich brought me up the first time, he was like, "Oh, you were in the airborne." I'm like, "Yeah, that means something, bro." yeah, hell yeah, I'm airborne. I didn't just get the wings, bro. I was in the air. I was in a line unit. I was downrange. I did it. I was out there working with Green Berets, Rangers, LERPs. I was out there with the Marines. You know what I mean? I was out there doing it, bro. Out there with Turkish soldiers, man. Out there with Israeli soldiers. Out there with Scottish soldiers, man. Like your guys in the UK that they're serving, in her Majesty's Royal whatever. I was out there with the Fusiliers. Man, them boys can drink. I was out there, man. All over the world. You're going to sit here and tell me that you don't understand U.S. military politics. Shut the hell up. This is what I mean, man. Losers like this guy who just want to be seen. They just want to be seen. They're not trying to do the work. They're not trying to get there. They're not trying to sacrifice. They just want to be seen. Just want to be seen and heard. Whew, man. Casual Germany, Royal Marines are awesome. Yes, they are, man. Yes, they are. And them boys can drink. Them boys can drink. They were like the Fusiliers. I'll never forget them, man. We were in Michigan on a mission. Just in the bar drinking, man. I'm like, I can't believe a human can consume so much alcohol. Them boys can drink. Put me to shame. So yeah, no, man. I even bumped into some old school Russian guys, some former Russian Spetsnaz dudes. I just one dude in Vegas. He was driving the cab, man. He had all his tats and everything, like Russian. I'm like, bro, we trained to kill y'all. He's like, yeah, we trained to kill y'all. Man, we had a good old time, bro. Dude was cool. Dude was cool, man. So we'll talk about military life some other time. But man, that Taylor dude, man, that just did not sit right with me at all, man. Look at this dumbass. One last time, man. Look at this dumbass. No, Taylor, you're a loser, bro. Get your shit together. You're a truck driver. You got your CDL. Just go out there and make your money, bro. We don't need you out trying to fight coyotes. These are the type of dudes that be going down to the border on their own, talking about we're gonna protect America. You ain't even serving military. You want a chance to go out there and get some, you can get some, bro. You can go out there right now and get some. There's plenty of opportunities to go out here and earn some ribbons. You want to earn some medals? You want to put in work for America? Enlist. Right? Enlist. You can send you right on over here to the Middle East, bro. Right on over here to Jordan. Right on over here to Iraq. We should get you right into Gaza, man. Get you to the West Bank. You don't want to do that, though, do you? No, you want to sit here and complain to Rich Cooper about how hard life is. They won't let you chase coyotes. Dumbass. All right, guys, I got to go. It's late. I'm out of here. I hope you guys had a good time, man. This was a good show. I feel this show. This was a good show. Yeah, he could go to Ukraine and be a volunteer. You sure could, bro. He could go to Ukraine. Hell, he could join the French Foreign Legion. Right? I met some Legionnaires when we were in country over in Saudi Arabia doing Desert Storm. I met a couple. It was a Legionnaire and a guy who was with it was a sergeant in the Legionnaires, and it was a guy who was the translator, who was a cook in the French army. Just talking to him, like, you want to talk about hardcore dude, man? The French Foreign Legion, man, they ain't playing. You could go join the French Foreign Legion, bro. Crying, man. I just, man, that made me so mad when I saw that, bro. He's just a dummy. Yeah, with the foreign fighters, no vetting process at all. That's right. You want to get something right now? You can go get something right now. Take you right over to Ukraine right now, man. Get you a brand new M16 and some bullets, and send you into the trenches. Literally, they're fighting in trenches over there. Appreciate you, brother Pitney. I'm done. This was fun. I will be back tomorrow. No, I won't. Tomorrow is what's today? Wednesday? Yeah, I will be back no, today's Thursday. I won't be back tomorrow. We back on Monday. We're going to talk about Brother Smeeble's idea when we were talking about what women want, what women think men want when it comes to their bodies, and the natural look versus the fake look, the upgrades and what natural versus upgrades. We're going to do a show around that. I'm definitely going to do a couple shorts. I want to talk about some craziness that I see that's going on out here, not just politically, but what's going on here socially and all that kind of stuff. I don't know if you guys noticed, but there's another bank failure. Another regional bank is on the verge of collapsing here in America. I'm definitely going to do a short about that tomorrow. I don't know if you guys know about that, but it's crazy. It's funny how what information is pumped up in the media and what information isn't. Another U.S. regional bank is on the verge of collapse. Right? The American car industry is kaput, as they say in Germany. It's a problem out there. It's a big problem out there. So I'm going to talk about that, and I'm going to do a DL short about the bank collapse and why this particular bank is collapsing and what it means moving forward. A cousin of mine just went out and bought himself his dream vehicle. He's been looking for years. He was like, yeah, man, these deals are insane right now. He's like, there are Dodge trucks out there that are $16,000 under invoice. $16,000 under manufacturer suggested retail price, man. $16,000 below the sticker. No one's talking about that, are they? George Gammon is always out there talking about this sort of stuff, man, but no one wants to listen to him. No one wants to listen to him. It's bro, the pain is here. It's not like the pain is coming anymore. The pain is here. It's to a point now where people aren't. There's a vast amount of Americans who can't afford their rent. There's more layoffs are coming. This is a bad time in America, guys. It's crazy out here. It's crazy. So we'll see y'all, man. Definitely peace to everyone. Cody is king. I'm gonna hit you up soon, man. Cody and Smeebles, I'm gonna hit y'all up, man. We're gonna talk about doing something in a few months. Let's do a meetup. Let's do a meetup in Tampa, y'all. Let's do a meetup in Tampa. Cody's like, I've been waiting. It's like Evergrande. I've been waiting, bro. My cousin just bought a Raptor. He said, I didn't even want to ask him what he paid for it. He was like, bro, it's like, bro, this deal was so crazy. And he flew to another state to get it. He's in the process of bringing it back home right now. I can't wait to see it. I think he'll be back Saturday or Sunday. But there are deals out there in the car space. In the housing market, not a lot of movement there, bro. Interest rates are still kind of high. There's not a lot of movement in the residential sector, but the commercial sector is crazy, and that is what's causing these banks to fail. So we're definitely going to get into it. Yeah, bro. Absolutely, we're going to make this happen. Cody, Smeebles, we're going to make this happen, man. Smeebles, we get you out here to Florida, bro. You come to Tampa, we'll get you down to Miami. You know what I mean? I'll hit up Myron and Fresh, bro. You know, try to get you in the studio down there, man, the whole nine. They know you came all the way from Australia. Trust and believe they're going to let you come up in that studio, man. And I'll make it my business to get down there, bro. We'll have a good time, man, for real, for real. So with all that said, good night to everyone, or good evening to Brother Smeebles all the way out there. And I don't even think the sun is down in Australia yet. It's probably like still good afternoon or something. You know what I mean? Good night to the rest of us here. Shout out to those of y'all on the West Coast. Thanks for rocking out with me. This was fun. I'm DL Saint. This is the I Really Want to Know podcast. I'll see y'all soon. Peace. And we are live. What's good, y'all? Welcome to the I Really Want to Know podcast, y'all.
It's just a thing of beauty.
Darn, that's the end.